Why am I not here? Oh my god! Wait. Oh, I didn't know it was. I was zooming in. Okay. Hello. Welcome to the stream. My mouth feels a bit greater than yesterday, but the only the only difference is I bit my tongue again. So don't worry. This time I have something spicy to tone it down and probably numbed up my tongue. We'll see. So um what was I about to say? Finishing chapter 9 tonight. We must finish it. For what? Oh wait, I forgot to increase the volume. But what last time is that we were cut off before someone walks in front of our jail cell.
While I have no need to eat, I still sit.
So we'll see. Who's this? On this day in the early 1970s, at Green Lake campsite, the Zeno Academy crossbreed a native North American deer girl with a channeling to create Jessica. Okay. Let's claim our 10 pool in a bit. Hopefully I can get a medicine pocket by then.
Huh?
Nope, I misclicked. They don't want me to click that. Free pull, free pull, free pull. Pulling. Ah, ah, oh, oh. No. Damn. Okay. Well, need another 10 pull to get a guarantee. There will be tomorrow. Again, I was screenshotted. Unfortunate. Well, let's continue part 9. The Central Tower. A silent and merciless order of ideals. I will be eating, so bear if you hear something squishing in the background.
Easy, easy. It's me, Garcia. We met at the gallery earlier.
Oh, Garcia.
Please, I come in peace.
I come in peace. Recoleta pays no mind to the young man's explanation. Her focus held on the woman beside him.
It's you, Octavia, the murderer herself.
Oh my god, she's not the murderer.
Please, calm yourself, Miss Recoleta.
How did you even...
The jailer has
What?
already confirmed that she wasn't the one to fire at the idealist. The shot came from somewhere else in the room.
Calm down. Recoleta bites her lip, giving up a little space to the
Miss
intruders.
Octavia, what brings you here at this hour?
I come here out of goodwill. Believe me, I didn't want any bloodshed either. I understand you just arrived today. There's something you need to know about the inmates here.
That they are canis? Their visitor expression is wavering and low.
We are outcasts, rejected by society and literature, and our privileges are limited within these walls. But before I started my own literature group, I struck a deal with the Panopticon authorities. If we cooperate and stay out of trouble, they'd leave us be. We could discuss literature freely and openly in Comala. Such a thing may seem trivial to you, but this is of immense importance to us.
Oh, there's no happier thing in this world than discussing literature. No one should ever put limits on it.
Or you change your mind?
You're right, Recoleta. But we're prisoners here. There are certain rules we have to follow. Except, the idealist didn't see it our way.
Oh, I forgot to press.
He refused to compromise, believing that the long poem and his so-called ism could break us free from the cage of the ever-watchful eye.
Perhaps he was right. You might have achieved more if you'd listened to him. After all, visceral realism keeps us connected to who we are. You have to believe in the truth of visceral realism, because out there, beyond these walls, many of us still do.
And what has it changed? Garcia, you're the latest inmate here. Tell us, 3 months ago, before they arrested you and took you here,
Is the latest
what
one?
has the visceral realism movement accomplished out there?
Beside them, Garcia, who had been patiently leaning against the railing, produced a metallic vibration on its grade. A raw sandpaper burns through.
At first, it was revolutionary. Young poets joined in droves. We held gatherings. And the literary world seemed alive again. I was just a kid when the leading poets left the city. Everyone thought it was only temporary. But they didn't come back. And nothing has happened since. No one says it. But we all know. Visceral realism died in 1977.
No, not for me. It's not dead as long as people still believe in it. I believe in it.
Octavia ignores the childish remarks. She knows the conviction can be as fragile as a spiderweb.
Belief, faith, what is this obsession with the true self? Why does your type always insist on there being a true self hiding beneath our roles in society? Our disciplines?
Look at the idealist. He never once stopped fighting for what he believed in, even long after he was put behind these bars.
Idealist, what a name he gave himself. Who will he be when he finally breaks free from the eyes of the central tower? When he's left without his willful audience? And nobody. That's what. And that is a truth even he is terrified of.
Miss Octavia, I hope you've come with something more important to share than just some criticism of the idealist.
I mean, she's dead, so.
You're right. I have an important message for you. Dr. Torres, I heard you were looking for her. The woman from the Sao Paulo Veterans Residence. She used to write under the name Erd, didn't she?
Yes, that's right. Do you know her? You're the first person I've met here to speak plainly about her.
Yeah.
Do you
Surprisingly.
know where she might be?
We crossed paths, but only briefly. I'm not sure where she's gone. Maybe the authorities know. However, she left this with me. I think you'll need it more than I do.
Is it a letter? Her diary! Octavia hands over her prisoner folder. Before they might open it, she has already turned to
We
leave.
have other matters to attend to. I'll leave you to your business. Garcia, shall we?
Their visitor leaves in haste, their face and expression obscured by the night shadow. The Foundation investigators open the worn manuscript folder with caution.
The physician told me the horrifying truth about the panopticon of Kamala and the power behind it. Manus Vindictae. By becoming the panopticon's sole patron, they seized control of the resources and the allocation system, turning this place into a living hell. I suspect that the physician, the current highest authority here, is responsible for this situation. I discovered that the inmates were put through brutal training, even when they were too sick to carry out their tasks. They also forced pure-blood Arcanist inmates to wear their masks, effectively turning them into murmuring puppets.
Just as we suspected, Manus Vindictae is orchestrating everything. No wonder we didn't find them in the city. they've been hiding here all along.
No one would have thought to come looking for them here.
I mean, it's a prison. They snapped the folder shut. A familiar signature seen on the forward page of Ut magazine and the receipt found in Sao Paulo. Heartfelt
But why
home.
would Miss Octavia bring this to us? What's in it for her? Do you think she's trying to mislead us, Timekeeper?
The fan of Miss Earth.
Maybe. But the handwriting in that notebook is most certainly Erd's. If she's leading us astray on purpose, why? Miss Recoleta, what do you think? Could she be Aleph?
Not a chance. Haven't you seen how she denies everything beautiful in the world? Aleph would never be so biased. No. Aleph is like a mirror. He reflects both light and shadow. But, Octavia, maybe she hasn't looked at the shadow within for a long time. I know that look on her face. It's the look of a writer. I've seen so many like her during my trip. The faces of a lost, struggling generation.
Isn't all of the people here in prison are writers? And arcanists, but most of them are writers. Under the night sky, Coloma prison stands like a forgotten gravestone covered by fine, cold snow. In a room repurposed for the prison cell, three girls in search of someone share an absurd, bizarre tale. Meanwhile, at the entrance of Central Watchtower, the Jaguar knocks on the secure door.
Dr. Merlin, I'm here to report on today's events.
Come in.
Interesting. Frantic writing breaks the quiet of the room. The jailer visits does not deter the man behind the desk. He continues writing, only absorbed as each letter are filling the world
There was
around
a
him.
commotion in the gallery today, sir. An inmate known as the Idealist was severely injured. The inmates nearby said he lost consciousness from blood loss. However, after we put everyone back in their cell, the Idealist was gone. I made a sweep of the grounds, but there was no trace of him. It's possible that he regained consciousness and went into hiding. I'll perform a full search tomorrow.
The Jaguar finds herself quite unexpectedly concealing the truth about Pablo.
No need.
Sir?
He knew the consequences of breaking the rules, did he not?
Sir, with all due respect, I think today's incident proved just how dangerous it is to let the inmates keep their weapons. We never should have let them walk around with deadly weapons. Even if we had to, we should have doubled the guards. We can't expect them to follow their own rules simply out of fear of the Central Tower.
The physician interrupts her sharply, with no hint of
But
concern.
matters fall beyond your purview, jailer. You only need to do what's required of your title. Is there anything else?
There is another thing. 2 guests from the Foundation came through today. They said they were looking for someone named Doris. They've shown a willingness to cooperate, though they were involved with the incident in Corridor 0.
The sound of writing continues. The report is disregarded. The jailer takes a deep breath. The next part is difficult to say.
Sir, there is one more thing. I told Miss Octavia we're short on rations, and she's adjusted the inmates' portions accordingly, but that won't last long. Manus Vindicti stopped providing supplies back in March, and Sino has collected all the prisoners they had previously placed in her custody. I just wonder why they have so suddenly withdrawn from Ushuaia and brought all the prisoners with them. I also noticed that we haven't received any orders from the government since Warden Tartuffe was transferred. In fact, we haven't had any communication with them at all. Sir, In frank terms, we're facing down a serious shortage of medicine, food, and basic supplies. At this rate, the Panopticon will soon be unable to operate. Where will our inmates go then?
The man before her says nothing for a long time. His pen still flickers over the page.
Can we ask the Foundation for help? They've sent their people here. Maybe they're interested in the Panopticon? I could arrange a meeting if you like.
You're unusually talkative today.
The man finally stops writing and looks up.
Pardon, sir?
That's fascinating, you know. You've become so much more concerned about this place and its inmates than when you first started. You are now dictated by your title.
I didn't mean to overstep. I'm sorry.
You can go now. I have a great deal of work to do.
That's
And one more thing.
That's Aleph. He beckons the jailer back before she leaves.
Make sure this month's Kamala Congress is held according to schedule.
Yes, sir.
The jackal disappears beyond the door, metallic footsteps fading into the distance. Only then does the physician allow his suppressed frustration to the surface.
How many times have I warned you about this? The idealist has to go. He's nothing but trouble for us. You're too soft on him, Aleph. Look at the mess he has us in now.
Oh ho ho ho.
Calm down. He's a rabble-rousing thief, a self-destructive maniac, a snake in the grass. He even stole the tea of Kamala from me. He's nearly ruined everything we've worked for.
The man angrily rises the once lost and now found dice. In the dim room, it flickers with comforting
It's
glow.
only a die, Merlin. It does nothing more than a die can do. You were there today. You saw what he did. He managed to change the Panopticon with this die, even if only for a second. He'll ruin my work, Aleph. He's a slave to his passion. His head is filled with impulsive thoughts. I don't trust him. We can't trust him. I've done everything you've asked. Now it's time to do your part.
Aleph responds with indifferent to the physician's frustration, continuing his writing without pause.
Time's ticking down. I can't afford any further mistakes. No one can be permitted to stop my experiment in the Panopticon. I'll prove it to them that we have found the path to the ultimate answer.
Okay, I was expecting him to be one of the physician. That he would stay in the watchtower because that's how he could watch everyone. It makes sense. But I did not know that he has two personalities. Wow. Yeah. The Xeno Defector. I wonder if the tower inside the prison has sent this. Based on the above information and recent intelligence from the Timekeeper squad, it is confirmed that the Xeno-defected unit had entered Kamala prison, which held numerous arcanists and withdrew from Ushuaia on March 2nd. The operation clearly involved cooperation with Menace Vindicte. The current whereabouts of the defectors remains unclear, pending further intelligence from the Timekeeper squad. The information is fragmented and primarily inferential. For the full reasoning behind the operation and additional detail, please refer to attachment 428. Prison reform notes. Look, the smallest of clues. The greatest the structure, built brick by brick. Oh, that's a redacted one. During the third Kamala's Congress, Blank's daily dose of diazepam was reduced from 2 3/4 tablet to none, replaced with 2 classified poetry collection A1675 and 60 chlorpromazine tablets to be taken 1.5 per day. 1. 2 days, 11 hours, 8 minutes, and 4 seconds later, an 8 mm crack appeared on a bar of his cell, which is on the second floor near the third staircase and is the 8th cell from the left. He scraped off a 4 by 3 mm fragment from the 32nd tile. 2. Mention of the other me increased from 3 times in 48 hours to 25 times in 48 hours. 3. 4 days, 3 hours, 7 minutes, and 8 seconds later, he transitioned from merely collecting manuscript paper to collecting manuscript paper and mirror fragments. Within the next 24 hours, he collected 11 mirrors, which total 103 shards. During the 6th Kamala Congress, Bank supply of fluoxetine and valproate was completely discontinued, replaced with 4 classified L6759 literary selection and 4 rolls of 400 cm bandage. 1. Average 32 bangs against bars and walls per hour. The bandage were all used up within 4 days. 14 hours, 20 minutes, and 9 seconds with 89.3 cm loss in the water due to excessive ripping. 2. Wrote 15 pages of poetry over 10 days, 6 hours, 8 minutes, and 3 seconds. Tore out 14 of those pages and swallowed the remaining one. Wow, okay. The Antmill. The truth is, no one can truly bend fate.
La cabaña con el techo azul estaba silenciosa como siempre. En un sueño fugaz, la investigadora de paracausalidad descubrió la verdad detrás del dado de Babilonia. Examinó cuidadosamente los patrones ocultos, como un astuto astrólogo rastrea los movimientos de las estrellas. Lo que pueda parecer errores o accidentes no niega las verdades del destino. Por el contrario, afirman su existencia. Solo pregúntale al gran Heráclito. En un universo no observado, el dado de Babilonia gira perpetuamente, dictando el destino de todos en un tiempo que es tanto infinitamente largo como infinitamente corto. Mira, cerró los ojos. Respetaba la aleatoriedad de los números y el destino. Respetaba el juicio del dado. De lo contrario, se habría perdido sumisamente en los huecos del tiempo y bajaría para siempre como un fantasma en el olvido.
In the Seoul prison hall, under the half-light of the next day, the prisoners of Kamala gather. Otavia steps into the podium with a stern expression.
First, allow me to make one thing clear. I had absolutely nothing to do with what happened to the idealist yesterday. I swear it on my career as a writer. As you all know, the idealist and I are the representatives of the 2 factions of La Sociedad de Poetas de las Américas. As you also know, we have been at peace since the Let Sleeping Dogs Lie agreement was signed a few months ago. Despite our differing views, we have coexisted to this day under the watchful gaze of the Central Tower. Rest assured that we will work tirelessly to locate the missing idealist.
Don't put so much pressure on yourself, Miss Octavia. His death wasn't your fault. After all, he was the one who threw the first verbal dagger.
The murmurs conceal below the what?
Show some respect, you morons. The idealist is missing, not dead. I'm sure he's dropping One Piece before we know it.
Better face the hard truth now, Roberta. Though, I have to say, it won't be easy for you to find a new leader as mad as him.
A polite cough from the hostess paused the heated debate.
Please, everyone, quiet down. According to the agreement, today's Congress should have been chaired by the idealist. Since he is still missing, I will be acting on his...
Oh.
Pardon my lateness. Go ahead. I'm ready to moderate.
Who? Unfamiliar footsteps break the regular pattern of event. The jailer led her visitor to the entrance of the prison hall.
Miss Vert, I looked over the incarceration and visitor records from the past 6 months. There was no mention of anyone named Doris.
Then it seems only the physician knows the whereabouts of Dr. Dorez. Miss Jailer, we need to meet with the physician. It's important.
Listen, you really shouldn't take the inmates' ramblings too seriously.
Considering the identity of the person before her, the jailer softened her tone.
But if it's as critical as you say, I'll make another request later. That said, I'm afraid the meeting won't happen for at least a few days.
Understood.
For now, please join us for today's Congress.
Espectacular! Do you hold literary salons like this every day? This place is practically a writer's paradise. So, you're the host of the salon, Octavia?
She is crazy, oh my god.
We set aside our differences and have a titillating literary discussion.
You've come at the right time. You may serve as witnesses for the Congress alongside the jailer, like a citizen's jury in a court.
Your suggestion aligns with the congressional rules. Very well.
Huh? Congress? Witnesses? Isn't this a salon? Which topic are we discussing? Literary theories? Schools? Principles? Languages? Oh, narrative perspectives?
Are you deaf, Recoleta? They said it's Congress.
None of those.
What? I'm so confused. Octavia lowers her head, giving her questioner a long and deep look.
This Congress is about the randomness of fate, Miss Recoleta.
Randomness of fate?
As she sank into confusion and bewilderment, the jailer's voice rises into the triumphant introduction.
Dear visitors from the Foundation, allow me to introduce the Kamala Congress. What happened yesterday was merely a brief anomaly. In the Panopticon, spontaneous order among the inmates is the norm, and the Kamala Congress serves as its truest reflection.
Spontaneous order?
Yes. Through the Congress, the inmates assign and distribute medication, communal duties, and rest periods. They are entirely self-regulated.
Her tone is filled with pride.
I hereby announce the commencement of the 7th Kamala Congress.
As her word falls, Octavia takes out a... Whoa.
A cardboard box and... Is that a paper die? It has 20 sides. Huh?
We carefully examine hidden patterns, much like an astute astrologer tracks the movements of the stars.
Isn't this...
The same as my novel? From somewhere in the audience, the girl unconsciously mumbles a revelation.
Just like the Die of Babylon? The MacGuffin that weaves through the entire plot? The infinite symbiote of fate? And the symbol that compresses time into a shriveled circle?
What may seem like errors or accidents doesn't negate the verities of destiny. On the contrary, they affirm its very existence. Just ask the great Heraclito. In an unobserved universe, the die spins in perpetuity.
Dictating the fate of all in time that is both infinitely long and infinitely short?
Look, I've closed my eyes. I respect the randomness of numbers and destiny. I respect the die's judgment.
Oh my god, all related to numbers! As the prisoner recite their announcement, the author's voice becomes more and more sluggish.
Otherwise, we will acquiescently lose ourselves in the gaps of time and wander forever as ghosts in oblivion.
I don't understand what's going on. Oh, but the irony that I probably have more idea what's going on than anyone here.
Miss Recoleta, this is all in your novel, isn't it?
I'm afraid so. The recitations, the references to an astrologer and Heraclito, they couldn't possibly be just a coincidence. Then, could it be? Will they look to the die to dictate their fate?
The girl's audible shock does not affect the proceeding on stage. The Congress continues.
I shall perform the first roll. Its result will determine the subsequent roll order for this Congress.
The hostess tosses 20-sided dice into the cardboard box and begins to shake it rhythmically.
The result is 5. This check complies with the prerequisite conditions of the ruling of the die, and the standard roll order has been established. Inmate Jose, please come forth. You are the first in the initiative order. Therefore, fate's judgment shall fall upon you before all else.
Me? Okay.
What does the die do? Does it determine the fate of their death? The prisoner steps forward, taking the fragile box in his hand, shaking it to roll the dice of absurd fate inside. The dice stop, and just like that, a simple number decides his fate.
17! It's 17! Ah, what a wonderful number! 17! Like an oasis in an endless desert.
The result is 17, and the score combination 6 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3. According to the ruling of the die, he shall receive 60 risperidone tablets, 40 clozapine tablets, and 40 diazepam tablets. Additionally, he will assume the role of cultural manager of the Comala Congress.
Oh!
Before he takes office, inmate Jose must clean the first restroom for the next 7 days.
Wonderful! I'll gladly clean the toilet. I've got the brooms here, the toilet detergent, oh, and the toilet brush too. I have been waiting for this opportunity. As cultural manager, I will speak with every inmate and complete the Comala memoir, finally capturing the moments when literary sparks ignite and explode.
Next is inmate Eduardo. Please come forth.
The man in question is a nervous mess. His gaze flicker, his eyebrows fight for space in his forehead, and his teeth clench.
But I can't remember the ruling of the die. I can't remember anything. Damn it. Sorry, Senora Octavia, but I don't think I can do this. I didn't get any medication in the last Congress. I've had multiple episodes. It's like my brain's jammed or something.
It's all right, inmate Eduardo. It's easy. You don't need to know the rules to roll the die. Give me your hand, I'll help you.
The prisoner follows suit, hand trembling as he shakes the box, the only thing he can do.
My sincerest
Oh my
apologies,
gosh.
Señor Eduardo. The die dictates that you must voluntarily descend into the sewers and write the thematic keyword that currently causes you the most anxiety on the walls.
I thank you very much, Miss Octavia. I think my head's about to split in half. I need a moment to rest before I head down there and fulfill my destiny.
Touching his head, the prisoner leaves, his steps heavy, his hands empty, his brow
Jailer.
finally. Oh.
Are you really letting them make every decision with the roll of a die? Eduardo is clearly in a much more dire condition than Jose. The medication should have been given to him.
As I said, this is how the inmates of the Panopticon maintain order. The physician periodically provides medication, food, and other necessities, and the inmates distribute them in this spontaneous and efficient manner. Neither authority nor violence is involved in this process. This is what sets Kamala apart from all other custodial facilities.
Is that it? You abdicate all agency to the roll of a paper die and call it the randomness of fate? What kind of sick joke is this?
Please calm down, Recoleta. This is the method that the inmates have collectively decided to recognize. They're prepared to face the possible sacrifices that it brings. This isn't about you or me. It's not our place to interfere with a procedure that has been proven both pragmatic and effective. My duty is to assist the inmates in maintaining order through the methods that they have established. And yours is to witness their self-governance, not judge it.
The jailer takes a deep breath, her words clearly meant to convince herself as much as anyone listening.
If everything somehow unfolds as it does in my novel, then every role was already predetermined. Verton, do you remember the story I told you last night? The odds of both success and failure were consecutively multiplied.
I remember.
As soon as a character experiences a failure, they continue to suffer failures in an endless chain reaction. None of Eduardo's future dice rolls will ever result in a number higher than 10. At this rate, this system, this sociedad, ruled by the dice of Babylon, is bound to collapse.
She looks around, realizing that her words, weighing as they seem to her, have no attention.
Eduardo will never receive any medication. The moment he writes the keyword on the wall could very well be the moment he spells out his own death. No, I can't let this happen. I have to do something.
Recoleta rushed to the stage.
Wait, Miss Recoleta, what are you doing?
Look at the novel first, since it has already been, connected to each other. Read it first, then determine your decision next. Treatment. Entry 303. The transformation of quantity into quality is the greatest realization of the method of exhaustion. Whoa, there's a lot of numbers. December 1st. Number 704 until 733. Each person is uniformly allocated one dose of calopromase and one dose of thalidomide. December 3rd. Number 704 until 710, 712 until 730, 732 until 733. Each person is universally allocated 3 doses of chloropromase and 3 doses of thalidomide. And they increase the number 6 doses for chloropromase bromide, and 11 doses of veronal.
Few soldiers would appreciate the idea of taking orders from an accursed die. A skilled commander would never rely on luck to make decisions. On the battlefield, the distance for every maneuver should be clear and precise, not two numbers with a D in the middle, unless you're looking to invite a mutiny. That said, if a die with such power were placed in a soldier's hand, I'm pretty sure they'd roll it and let it decide their destiny.
Luck won't always be on your side.
Exactly. There's no good luck without bad luck. Just as a coin must have two sides. Luck essentially defines one's entire life. And whether it's make or break, life or death, the die will keep on rolling. Of course, dice aren't the only tools used to play with fate. Coins, lotteries, even shells on the beach can all serve the same purpose. Thanks to the randomness of fate, a Babylonian may rise to be a proconsul one day and fall into slavery the next.
Some tragedies could have been avoided.
Well, that's where historians come in. With a little creative editing of the history books, even the random rolls of a die can suddenly make sense. What were once avoidable tragedies are rebranded as reasonable incidents, or even desirable outcomes.
At least the roll of a dice is impartial.
You're starting to sound like a gambler. But even gamblers, after hitting a hot streak or a losing spell, start to convince themselves that they've figured out the grand pattern behind games of chance. It isn't just gamblers either. Witches tried to influence fate through rituals and charms. Ancient mathematicians calculated probabilities on paper. Some even wrote books on game theory. Meanwhile, others suspected there were cheaters among them. I just hope these high rollers unite to confront the demon who holds the laws of the universe, the past, present, and future, in its claws, and give it a well done and a slap in the face.
You're talking in circles today.
Haven't I always? It's just that today, the die rolled a peculiar number.
What, 1? Or 17? Or 5?
But all things considered, I prefer the other kind of commander. The die is cast, but regardless of what number has been rolled, it's time to cross the river.
Okay. Just say a world maker. The goddess delights in toying with the pity of her believers. What is Recoleta doing? On the stage, Octavia remains the picture of serenity as she orchestrates the Congress.
Miss Recoleta, as a witness to the Congress, you have the right to express your doubts calmly.
Listen, you...
Nah. She recalls the complaint of her two former companions, the jailer dismissal, and the confused expression of every editor she has ever faced. If she were to lay out every detail of her novel here and now, she would only get the same response.
No, it's nothing. It's just that I'd like to participate in the dice rolling ceremony. May I?
Of course. The very fact that you're standing here in the Panopticon proves that you share a common fate with it.
Recoleta surveyed the prisoners awaiting to cast their dice. Their expressions were serene, untroubled, and calmly waiting their fate. The joy and misfortune of those before them does not fade long. He takes a deep breath.
It Doesn't matter when I roll the die, since the rolls are simply a reflection of the randomness of fate, right?
Precisely.
Then I'd like to perform my role after the 27th inmate. Is that alright?
As you wish, Miss Recoleta.
Okay, specifically the 27th, but oh, Recoleta is here again. And
Seems you can use a hand, especially one with a blade.
I will handle this myself.
Can I change you? I could.
This is my position.
Straight to the point. I like that.
Are those supplies? Dice 3. Nothing happens.
Liberato dal fratello.
Cosmología, filosofía, clases aliados, la verdad.
There's some weird things. A random enemy recovered 20% HP.
Juegos de fantasía, patrones ocultos.
Deal 1 damage to a random enemy triggers 2 times. Oh my god.
Get out of my way. You see it coming.
A random enemy dies.
Even Apollo bows before me. Let the earth tremble.
Cosmología, filosofía clásica, el fundamento del mundo.
Nothing happened.
En todos los momentos. En la acumulación de laberintos. Suéltalo todo una vez más.
Liberato dal fratello.
Idealismo, vuelos de fantasía, patrones ocultos. Más allá.
My sword is the
Okay. Trigger 4 times.
Nuestro adversario es el tiempo.
I am destined for victory.
Interesting.
It seems fate favors you, Miss Recoleta. Here are your supplies. Please be sure to follow the distribution rules of the Congress. This is an essential structure of Comala, and a belief shared by all its inmates. Honor it.
Just as I suspected.
What?
These supplies belong to me now, Octavia. I'm free to use them however I please.
Recoleta strides towards Eduardo, who has curled up in the distant corner, clutching his head as his body trembles in silence.
Here, Eduardo. Take them.
But I haven't fulfilled my destiny yet. These precious tablets and capsules, I can't accept them. They are gifts from fate. The die has placed them in your palm.
But I don't need them. You do.
Thank you, kind senorita.
I feel like there's some things here. The prisoner trembling stops. He blinks, pinches his arm as if he's trying to distinguish. And all at once, he snatched the medication from her hand and shoved it into his mouth.
Eduardo, what's wrong? Are you taking the medicine right now? There's no need to rush. There's plenty of it. You can have it all.
Por Dios, Eduardo! How could you squander fate's gifts like this? Kind señorita, please, give me the medication. I need it more than anyone else.
No, I'm the one who needs the most. Give me the medication. I beg of you. With the protection of these amulets, I might finally be able to get a peaceful night's sleep. No more trembling floors and wailing ghosts.
The prisoners shove and struggle, countless hands reaching towards the hapless writer that to snatch a small round pill of salvation.
Enough!
This is why you don't mess up with the Congress. Blue glow spreads to the room, forcing the prisoner to clench their heads and fall down on their knees. Their riot comes to an abrupt halt.
You shouldn't have done that, Miss Recoleta.
Yeah,
Your ignorant generosity could shatter the very basis of our survival.
could have just waited. Steps towards Eduardo, now reeling in pain, and pick up a few strands. Capsule. The pill dissolves into a stream of voided sand, vanishing as it poured through her fingers.
We have never had such chaos at the Congress. Understand this. We rely only on the randomness of fate to distribute supplies and assign responsibilities. If you disrupt the status quo, the entire system of the Panopticon will collapse beyond repair. It is only by respecting the arbitrariness of fate and adhering to the rules of the Die of Babylon that we have kept this place functioning all this time.
The Die of Babylon? Tell me, how did you know this name? Are you the one orchestrating this whole thing?
Recoleta, equally confused and frustrated, grabs the hostess' collar.
¿Podría ser? ¿Eres Aleph? ¿Tal como sospechaba Verdun?
Let go of me, Miss Recoleta. Have you gone mad?
Do you need the pills?
The role of the die is absolutely random. I'm not orchestrating anything. Before the Congress began, I made an oath. I intend to keep it.
Please, calm down, Miss Recoleta. I think she's telling the truth.
She let go of her grip as the reality of their situation dawned on her.
Sorry, Octavia, but please, you have to tell me how you learned about the Die of Babylon. I must know. Only my pen pal and I should have any knowledge about this die.
I heard about it from the physician. He described it as a symbol of collective consciousness that we could harness to maintain immaculate order in the Panopticon. The Comala Congress was coined, iterated, and perfected by the physician based on this concept.
The physician again. Everything eventually leads back to him. Just as we suspected.
I see.
Recoleta casts her eyes over the silent jaguar, who has remained wordless from the beginning to end, watching it all unfold.
Jailer, we have to meet with the physician in person. Now.
As I've told you many times, Dr. Merlin is too busy at the moment. I couldn't possibly trouble him over a novel and a pen pal. They are just fantasies.
Couldn't you make an exception? What if they're not just fantasies? What if they're tied to the very survival of this place? Miss Recoleta said the Panopticon could collapse because of the Die of Babylon.
Are you seriously telling me you believe that nonsense?
It wasn't nonsense, nor are they fantasies. You saw with your own eyes how I won the die roll.
It was just a coincidence.
The jailer words are at odds with subtle motion in her eyes and face. The Foundation investigator sees on the prime opportunity
What if we
to apply
present you with
pressure.
stronger evidence to prove it's more than just a coincidence? If everything in the Panopticon proceeds according to Miss Recoleta's novel as she says, she should be able to predict what happens next, including the roll results of the absolutely random die.
That's right. The Die of Babylon isn't random at all. It's nothing but a supercilious fraud veiled under the guise of fate, an enactor of the inescapable loop of history, and not one of you is paying attention to me whatsoever. Ugh, to hell with this era of ignoring unknown writers.
Miss Recoleta, please make your prediction for the next inmate's die roll. This way, you can prove to Miss Jailer the irrefutable connection between Kamala and your novel, The Rise and Fall of Sanity.
You finally remembered its name! Oh, what sweet balm to my spirit!
That was not the time.
Miss Octavia, please continue the Congress and let the next inmate perform their role. then Miss Recoletta's statement will be proven true.
The hostess of the Congress remains
I appreciate the reminder. No matter the interruption, the Comala Congress must go on. Though not for Miss Recoletta's sake, of course. Next inmate, please.
Following the dice design order, the next prison steps forward to
Hello,
roll.
inmate Garcia.
Oh, it's
You know
Garcia.
what to do.
Of course.
La sexta cara. Un pilar roto. El flujo de la fortuna y la calamidad.
So the result of the next roll will be a 6.
A prophetic precision plunged the hall of new encounter into breathless
As fate
silence.
reveals, the number is 6.
Just as Miss Recoletta predicted.
That could still be a coincidence. Do it again.
La 13ª cara. Una cadencia desconcertante, sin un verdadero principio ni fin. La 4ª cara. Un hombre que se ahogaba usó el último de sus fuerzas para nadar a la seguridad, solo para descubrir que había confundido un espejo con la superficie del agua. La 17ª cara. Cojeaba hacia el distante oasis, solo para que la débil humedad y la inquietante quietud revelaran cruelmente que era un espejismo. La 6ª cara. Otro pilar roto con grietas idénticas a la última. Confirmó la hipótesis de la investigadora de paracausalidad. Este lugar solía ser un edificio circular.
Is that enough? I've almost finished the entire chapter.
It's not possible.
One coincidence after another begins to stir into an uproar. The coincidences appear endless.
Who are you?
I'm Recoleta.
I'm sorry if this comes as a shock to you, but I did warn you, Octavia. Now it's proven. The Die of Babylon is anything but the so-called randomness of fate.
Have you been sent here by some god? Or are you a hobby prophet? Have you brought this knowledge to save us? Or to shatter our beliefs? Our world?
A question destined never to need an answer. She let her eyes fall into a cardboard box and onto the 20-sided die, and the ridiculous of its nature with shakable vision visible.
Thing in my hand. What are we? What is this prison?
Who am I?
I don't know if it's some kind of sorcery or arcane skill, but it's unfathomable. I'll take you to the physician. Not because of your earlier request, but because the situation has escalated beyond my means. The overseer of the Panopticon will decide how to handle your situation.
To be honest, Miss Recoletta, I wasn't sure you'd be able to correctly predict everything.
Timekeeper, are you saying that you risked everything on a hunch?
Yes.
It worked, didn't it?
I was feeling.
Come with me. Dr. Merlin's office is in the central tower.
For her part, the now vindicated writer follows to the end of the line, letting her mind race like a bullet train.
En la sexta versión de mi novela, todos en el pueblo mueren a causa del dado de Babilonia. Porque solo la muerte puede cerrar el ciclo de la historia. Y carcelero, eres el empleado del banco, ¿verdad? Entonces, al final, también sufrirás un colapso como el empleado del banco, cuando se da cuenta de que él y el pescador de dunas son la misma persona.
Oh, the blanket was
If all of
Julio.
this is tied to the rise and fall of sanity, then, as its creator, I will get to the bottom of this.
Technically, Aleph also is a part of that. So, you technically can't say it like that. Because it's a joint effort. Oh, here we go again. The boundaries shattered with the astrologer glimpse an unspeakable truth. After that, I attended several more literary saloons and write things I had never dared write before. Miss Octavia, however, never made an appearance. I didn't see her for quite some time. That was until I followed some prisoners to a large hall and heard her voice among a group of unfamiliar inmates. She noticed me and greeted me warmly. She told me she had worked on some new initiatives. She told me of her hope to gather more support, to improve conditions in the prison and initiate a spiritual shift towards realism and resistance. I truly believed back then that everything was headed in the right direction. Before all eyes, the host of the assembly, the Idolist, steps up to the podium. By the randomness of fate, we have gathered here to participate in the Komala Congress. Before the eyes of the destiny, historians and astrologers alike, I now declare a new rule amendment. A duel before a crowd of eager eyes. The winner awards 10 pounds of gold and the loser left with 10 flies to descend upon him. Before the Kamala Congress convene, we shall assign 2 members of La Societe this noble mission, a duel decreed by fate. Notice here the faint click of a small object rattling inside the box. Jose Julio, step forward and draw the sharpest blade of your literary thoughts. According to the rules, I will provide over this duel with fairness and impracticality. Now prepare yourself. The absurd, fictional, metaphorical duel ends with a fraction of a second. The victorious prisoner received 10 shining gold pills, while the loser collapsed to the floor. The crowd erupts into chaos. Octavia cries, rising above the noises. What's going on? Mr. Julio, he's having another stroke. Miss Earth, please. Julio needs your help. Octavia, you know this is all part of the randomness of fate. The randomness of fate? She doesn't argue back as she usually would. Instead, she stands frozen in place, as if stunned. What's the matter, Miss Octavia? This is an emergency. I require your assistance. Answer me, Octavia. Why are you trying to change Julio's fate? Because no one should die like this. I don't want him to die. Please, Miss Octavia, help me so I can help him. Her voice cracked, leaving only the sound of her stifled sob lingering in the air. What's wrong, Miss Octavia? How's his condition now? Miss Octavia? She remained silent. After a long pause, she cast the heavy stone into the bottomless water. Miss Earth. Mr. Julio is gone. He left us the moment the duel was over. How could that be? Seizures can potentially lead to irreversible brain damage, but how could it happen so fast? A precious life, gone so quickly, swept away by something so senseless, lost in a nonsensical duel. What exactly is this so-called Congress? What kind of punitive system unique to Komala prison? But how can someone's life be decided by something so absurd? Are we simply meant to surrender to a fate so twisted, no matter how absurd it is? Is it irrefutable? This isn't the fate I seek. It's a distortion of it. It's my fault for not finding a better way. I used to think Mr. Julio doesn't care about anything but his own novels. I never imagined my ideals would mean anything to him. But he was the first person in La Sociedad to support me. But that really was a irreversible fate. A fate granted by to Mr. Julio's by the die of Babylon. The die of Babylon? The question is left unanswered. The host of the saloon goes on. Julio has stepped off the meaningless staircase and reached the silent water. He has become as calm water, dissolved into his own pond. Let us offer our blessing, our silence, our farewell to this martyr of fate. And let us imagine that Julio's literary career was a happy one. The hall remains deadly silent. No applause, no response. A life was taken, and that's all you have to say? You really don't care whether we live or die, do you, idealists? And all of you? Don't any of you have anything to say? Why are all just standing there? If we haven't kept rejecting the physician treatment, maybe Mr. Julio would have... Rejecting? How ridiculous. You have no clue what that demon in human skin is capable of. How he'll reach into your mind and mold it like clay, reshaping it until it becomes your prison. In the realm of fiction, fate, unrealistic, the dissolution of the ego is inevitable. Yeah, and irreversible. Therefore, we must not resist the ending dealt to us by the die of Babylon. Do you even know what you're talking about? I never truly understood you, idealist. I will find a better way. I must rewrite this tragic tale. If you disagree, then leave La Sociedad. I will not have our great poet distribute by an offbeat syllable. Besides, the tedious talk of social responsibility should have been purged long ago. Modern Latin America belongs to visceral realism, and you too ignorant to even attempt to seek it out. Ha! What a ridiculous, laughable man you are. Yes, I see it clearly now. It's your tyranny that has drawn everyone to ruin. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not leaving. I will establish a new literary movement right here in Colama. Right here in La Sociedad de Poeta de las Americas. And we will use our literature to rescue the inmates who suffer all around us. I've had enough of your condescending, stone-hearted ego and your pompous. So, Percy? You only bring misfortune upon us with this constant rambling about that visceral realism. I hope I never see you again, Miss Earth. Oh no, I hope I never see you again. Miss Earth, we have to get you out of here. Another second around, this maniac might just doom us all. Only the physician, the true oversight of this prison, can save us from this situation. Please join the society, Miss Doris. Help us build the renewed Sociedad de Poetas together. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Oh. I've already spoken with the jailer. As long as we follow the rules and help them manage Colama, we'll be free to discuss literature. Forgive me, Miss Octavia. I truly appreciate your kind offer. I'm afraid my conversation with the physician must remain private. Why? Please answer me this question first. From what you've seen, you said this prison is circular in shape, yes? Yes, it is. Then tell me, at the center of the structure, is there a watchtower? What? Impossible. You guessed it exactly. And our destination is somewhere inside the watchtower. How do you know? I've had such a lovely time here. So much so that I almost forgot what I came for. Which is precisely why I must put an end to this cruel farce masquerading as fate. Do you intend to rebel against the watchtower gaze? Like the idealists? You misunderstood me, Miss Octavia. That inescapable gaze and the permanent theme of fate. The closer to the truth I seek. I have no choice but to meet the administrator that the young lady speak of. You decide to save people here with your own hands, in your own way, and so have I. There are things I must face alone. Though she is well used to death, the pain of Julio passing still lingers in her heart, causing her to say these words that don't quite feel like herself. I see. Lend me your palm. I'll draw you the way to his office. Good luck to you, and to all of us. Farewell, Miss Octavia. I truly hope all goes well for you in the days ahead. As Octavia retreats, slowly fading into the distance, she quietly adds, and in your journey finding answer about fate, too. Interesting. Part 12. Behind the operating curtain. What disrupted this era? What unraveled time? The shadow lurking in the ruins answers. Madness. Oh, we're in the office. An otherwise tidy room is covered in fine scratches. A small identify stain, the smell of disaffected linger in the air.
Wait here a moment. I'll report the situation and your request to Dr. Merlin. However, since he's always busy, I can't guarantee he'll agree to meet you. But I'll do my best to persuade him.
The Jaguar figures links out through the inner
Now's
door.
our chance, Sonetto.
Our chance? What do you mean, Timekeeper?
It's unlikely that the jailer will let us search the central tower, even in this situation. We should take the initiative and look for clues while she's away.
I see, Timekeeper. I will do my best.
Sonetto swiftly conducts a thorough, unauthorized search.
Thank you for your assistance, Miss Recoleta. Without your precise predictions, we wouldn't be standing here now. I haven't yet grasped the connection between the die, your novel, and what's happening in this place. But by process of elimination, it's almost certain that your pen pal, Aleph,
hello there.
is right behind this.
Lokimamoru.
Sometimes I envy your
Hello there.
decisiveness, Burton. I'm sure many people have praised this special talent of yours.
Are you alright? You don't seem as excited as when we first entered Kamala.
Recoleta holds her gaze on the tiny shut door, uncertain whether she hoped it will open now or ever again.
All-seeing sentinel of the Panopticon, veiled within the central tower. If it truly is Aleph, I don't know how to face such terrifying and increasingly plausible reality.
Sorry to interrupt, but... Timekeeper, I think you'll want to see these.
Signed Erd. This is a letter from Dr. Dorez.
The delicate signature matched the one in the manuscript folder.
Her handwriting, It's as beautiful as I'd imagined. Who is it addressed to? Dear Mr. Aleph. Aleph?
What?
Looks like Doris and Aleph are acquaintances. Or at least, they've had some correspondence. Dear Mr. Aleph, my apologies if this reaches you at an inconvenient time. I am Doris, pen name Erd, an ordinary inmate of the Panopticon of Kamala. I write seeking your guidance, if you wouldn't mind offering it to me. I heard from the physician, Dr. Merlin, that
you have the answer to every question. A statement which has been echoed by the idealist and the other inmates. I have something I wish to ask you. What exactly is your role at the prison? Chief Warden? A secret backer? An observer who dominates the prison? Are you truly the supreme ruler of the Panopticon of Kamala?
The tear opened the next letter, eager to read on.
Dear Erd, I do indeed have answers for every question, including yours. I'm afraid every one of your speculations is off the mark. I am merely an inmate who chose to imprison himself here. And allow me to point out that your identity isn't as ordinary as you claim. Why is it that you, my fellow inmate and guest of Manus Vindictae, are so interested in Kamala?
Dr. Doris, a guest of Manus Vindictae.
Makes sense, makes sense. A bubble shattered. The glass interrupted their reading.
It came from inside the room. Do you think they're okay?
The jailer and the physician! What happened?
The door defeat any attempt to answer, sealing
I'm
all the
not
evidence
sure.
from view.
But it could be bad. Come on, let's go in and see if they're all right.
Is that okay to go in? The unlocked door leads to another room, more decrepit and opposed than the last one. A cold operating table lies in the center, surrounded by scattered bottles and medical
It seems we've
instruments.
stumbled upon the physician's
office. I should have known. But is this an operating room? As if this prison wasn't bizarre enough already.
Inside the narrow operating room, the Jaguar reacts badly to their intrusion.
Didn't I tell you to wait outside? What do you think you're doing barging in like this?
We were just worried about your safety, jailer.
Enough. Get out of...
Quiet. The reptilian complex governs all our fundamental functions. Our heartbeat, breathing, fight or flight responses, and our territory and hierarchy awareness. Our primitive ancestors, like reptiles and birds, followed such instincts to survive. Through millions of years of evolution, we developed the limbic system. This processes emotions and forms memories. It allows us to feel fear, sadness, anger, joy. Our behaviors are given meaning. Now it's the neocortex that makes up more than 2/3 of our total brain volume. Language, perception, logical reasoning, abstract thought. This is what forms the complexity of human nature. We read, create, perceive. We try to understand both the world and ourselves. We are forever setting goals, one after another. And all this, these multitudes, happens within the confines of the skull, in the tight folds of the crowded cerebral cortex.
Is he performing surgery?
On
Such
who?
a delicate and elaborate organ. Were it unable to forget, what would come of it? Can this space, no larger than the palm of my hand, truly accommodate dozens of people at once.
At last, the physician set down his operating scissors and needle, signing the end of the surgery, yet at the same time the old machine issued an alarm signaling that its patient vitals.
What's happened to the patient? It
Oh.
looks like he's dying.
The anxiety rises. As the question goes unanswered on the screen, the last waveform disappears, leaving only a
¿Fracasó la cirugía?
flat line.
Nonsense. The surgery was a tremendous success. I have erased his debilitating hysteria and restored order to the Panopticon. What are you trying to achieve by barging in here?
The man behind the operating table stares into the uninvited guest expectantly.
Forget it. The next operation requires my attention. Jailer, show them out. Bring me the next patient in 15 minutes.
I'm sorry, Miss Burton. I'm afraid you have to leave now.
Recoleta stepped forward, blocking their path. There is a hint of pleading in her voice.
Please, just let us speak with you. It'll only take a moment. I have something very important I need to ask.
Her question is not giving time to take shape.
Important. Nothing is of greater importance than my experiments in the Panopticon, outsiders. To ensure they continue, the stability of time and schedule is absolutely paramount.
Experiments in the Panopticon. So you really are the controller of the prison, then?
Controller? What an outdated notion. Superficial, really. The Panopticon has no need for such power, regardless of who occupies the central tower, or even if no one's there at all. Every inmate is both the observer and the observed, both wielders and subjects of power. Achieving such a state requires no physical or violent measures. The structure of the Panopticon itself is the mechanism which sustains it. Kamala is simply a manifestation of this model. Once I confirm its feasibility and adaptability, this model can be applied to any functional setting with only minor modifications. So far, it has proven to be far superior to any current system of governance in our world, transcendental even. Curse it. Why am I wasting time explaining this to you? Time is running out.
The investigator keenly sensed the key within his
Dr.
word.
Merlin, you keep mentioning time. What exactly do you mean by that?
Really? You need to ask? Even those oily-headed lunatics know it.
The storm!
The end of this era is imminent, is it not?
Indeed, the word that was so close to be spoken.
You know about the storm?
That's what you call it, is it? A storm that washes everything away? You employees of the St. Pavlov Foundation should know better than I. Soon, this era and everything in it will cease to exist. I must prove the feasibility of the Panopticon model before this place is turned to ruins, or something even more unrecognizable.
A storm that washes everything away? Burton, what on earth are you two talking about?
This is not the time, Recoleta. The conversation extends beyond even the most imaginative creation of the inspiring writer.
No one can predict the era to which we will be reversed. I have seen the eras change time and time again. The transformation of this place, over and over. But no matter which era each of these 9 storms, as you call them, has taken us back to, Cordeismo continues to plague this land. Dependency theorists, martyred revolutionists, I've seen them all. You, young writer, are no different from those intellectuals who were swept away in the rain. There is no romance in this era, only the repeated cycles of madness and brutality. an endless, meaningless struggle. Only in this forgotten corner can we momentarily escape the plundering of the marauders and the chaos they unleash. Although it won't be long before this place is looted by those oily-headed lunatics. Just as it has countless times before on this land as rich as silver.
He mutters to himself.
But there is still hope. Even in a wasteland, we may still be saved. As long as I uncover the path to transcendentality, I will find the ultimate answer.
We have the answer right here.
Ugh, I've already wasted far too much time on you. Leave, now.
The physician turns away, beginning the preparation for the next surgery, organizing his worn-out instruments.
You heard him. Please don't press things any further.
All right, Senora. I get it. Obviously, you don't want to discuss my novel with me anymore. So I won't insist upon it. All the letters we wrote to one another. All those inspiring revisions and suggestions. I guess they meant nothing to you.
Her voice waver, rejection, closed door, harsh critics. This proved more devastating than all of them together.
But there's still something I must tell you. Jailer, could you please allow us a private conversation with the No. With Aleph.
Hearing this, the physician stopped.
Leave us, jailer. I'll spare these outsiders 5 minutes.
The jaguar turns to leave, her face revealing an uncharacteristic sorrow as she lingers on the girls one last time. This time she offered no words. Wow. A clipping. When he pulls out the ice pick, don't be afraid. Panic is proof that you'll still lose it for now. In 1935, Professor Antonio from Portugal becomes intrigued by a medical study documenting how gorillas become docile after the removal of its frontal lobe. Inspired by this, he successfully performed the world's first human frontal lobotomy, known as leucotomy. The surgery was remarkably successful, paving the way of significant breakthrough in research. In 1949, Professor Antonio was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. The Nobel Prize, sorry, not Nobel Peace. The Nobel Prize in medicine for his work. Through continuous practice and refinement, he and others eventually improved and perfected the procedure, even developing a specialized leucotomy. However, the surgical technique required a high level of expertise, and as a result, it was never widely adopted. In 1945, American doctor Walter Freeman modified the procedure, which became infamously known as the ice pick lobotomy. The technique involved rendering patient unconscious with electroshock or anesthesia, and then hammering a steel pick, roughly the thickness of a chopstick, through the upper place. Hello there, welcome, Jazz Mizu. To the upper part of the eye socket into the brain. The pick was then manually rotated to destroy the frontal lobe. In 1950, following the strong recommendation from the psychiatric pathologist Vasily Gayanovsky, the Soviet government became the first to announce the complete ban on frontal lobotomies. Over the 2 decades, most countries, including the United States, followed suit and passed law prohibiting the procedure. Wow. Part 13. master of labyrinth. Within the corpse of the labyrinth's builder, he proclaims it is and has always been perfect. Only the steady beeping of the heart monitor keeps the eerie silence at bay.
Dr. Merlin, or should I say Aleph, I don't know why you're using my novel to manipulate the Panopticon. But you need to know that it won't serve your purpose, whether in fiction or reality. You claim that the inmates are both the observer and the observed, and both wielders and subjects of power. How could you be so blind as to not see the true state of the Panopticon? The inmates haven't achieved any perfect order. No, they've devolved into pitiful caricatures of themselves, performers in some endless pantomime to be watched from the central tower. Even their medication has become a prop to demonstrate the so-called randomness of fate in the theater that is the Panopticon. This farce hasn't made the Panopticon a better place. No, it has warped it into a twisted theater of cruelty, where the sick are denied treatment and left to quietly perish in the dark corners of its halls. And literature has died alongside them. This prison is a monster, born under the gaze of this all-seeing power. Aleph, is this truly the ultimate answer you've been searching for?
The physician suddenly seems startled, stepped back, accidentally knocking over his tools.
What? Are you suggesting that this is the answer I've reached? That my experiment has been a failure all along, and I've been too blind to see it? No, impossible. Foucault's theory is flawless.
Having his life work denied is something he cannot tolerate. The man searched the tabletop, brain composure, and in doing so, he understood.
I have removed every obstacle to the running of this prison. It is pure, sacrosanct. I have constantly re-evaluated the system, adjusting my instructions to my subordinates to ensure the most efficient maintenance of the established order. And now, you stand here and tell me that everything I've done has been meaningless from the very beginning? That the power model I have implemented has already been replaced by an alternative? No, outsiders. The perfect order of the Panopticon shall not be disrupted. I will not be swayed by your lies. This facility is superior to all others. Nothing here escapes my notice.
At last, in a barely noticeable corner, he finds the 20-sided die wrenched in the blackness.
It isn't easy to work a miracle, as we all know. I shall personally verify it, all myself.
All of his emotion dissolve as he gripped the die. The narrow operating room shakes as if responding to him, emitting a distorted something. It's time to fight.
Visitors
Oh,
from
no, man.
another era.
Oh my
You
god.
have come here with plagued ideologies in an attempt to break the subtle balance of the Panopticon. But did you not notice the tiles beneath your feet? The cracks and water stains on the walls, constantly changing right before your eyes. This room, the previous room, every room, you have blindly wandered through them, seeing them as nothing more than the building blocks of a monotonous labyrinth. But this place was not born from the chaotic imaginings of a madman. No. Every inch has been crafted through the meticulous harnessing of order and power. Every wisp of spider silk drifting in the wind. Every speck of rust on the gallery rail. Every detail of the panopticon has been built by my own hands. With this ever-shifting die, concepts may be transformed into reality, and ideals into substance. I observe the movement of every entity, the passage of every second. The moment you entered this realm, you too became subjects of my experiment.
And we're fighting him. Okay. What in the universe?
Your only choice is to kneel.
Admit it. This is all getting out of hand. Impossible! All is under the Die's control. What may appear to be chaos is nothing more than a temporary deviation.
Let's shake hands. New friends.
It will be over before you
Make the
feel it.
future brighter.
Wait.
My sword is the only guide I need.
Liberato dalla paura. You see it coming.
They'll die faster that way. Try harder.
He died so quickly.
Special, precise, perfect. It is far from perfect. You know that as well as I. Why else would we be conducting this experiment?
I am destined for victory.
Okay, since we have this a short pause, be right back. Ooh. I did not know that the music was muted. Ugh. Okay. Let's continue.
This happened when the Idealist was attacked too.
To think we've been trapped in a prison fabricated by a die all this time. Did the physician really build all this with such a small, simple object?
The distortion is getting worse. Prepare yourselves to fight or flee.
The situation begins to spiral out of control. Now everything in the room stretches and twists until they become a mess of meaningless black and white lines.
Please, Dr. Merlin, stop this!
No. You're asking for the impossible. Power model of the Panopticon is destined to permeate all of society. Such insignificant interferences could never plunge it into chaos. But it already has, Merlin. You failed. I have not failed, as long as I keep the prison running.
The physician fiddled with the dice, mumbling baffled and incoherent words to
It isn't
himself.
your power model running the prison. It's the die. It's simply a form of magic, unrelated to the microphysics of power you seek. It provides no aid in your experimentation with power. It's a false hope. A castle in the sky given to you by the military junta and Manus Vindictae.
Manus Vindictae?
Say what?
So you really are working with them. What exactly do you intend to do?
And I've also failed. I've ended up a pathetic fool, lost in the chaos of reality. Just like the idealist chasing visceral realism, Paracelsus seeking the fountain of youth, and Zahir obsessing over the one-sided coin. When did it all start falling apart, Aleph? When the doorknob loosened? When the prisoner's wounds started to fester? Or when the daily disinfectant concentration reached 28 milligrams? Or the crack in the second gray brick on the wall expanded to 6 millimeters? Or was it when Warden Tartuffe left Ushuaia with news of the Foucault Association's dissolution? This place should have been the ideal ground for psychoanalytic practice. Why did they halt all research, all discussion? We've been abandoned, haven't we? By eras old and new. You designed and have maintained everything in Kamala, right down to the smallest detail. But it is these details that trap you. And as the bars close around you, you are losing your name, Merlin. And you're becoming a physician, a man forever imprisoned within these walls. I don't understand. All these false eras are like a dreadful novel with no conclusion. Trying to find answers within such things is, in itself, a mistake. Much like them, you are destined never to attain transcendentality. Tell me, Aleph, does the ultimate answer even exist?
The die becomes too heavy for him to hold any longer. It drops to the floor. The distortion and tremor of the prison finally subside, as if the pulse of the massive heart. In an instant, amidst the swirling dust, the girls help each other, but fail to notice the truth revealing itself before them.
Timekeeper, are you alright?
Yes. And you? And Miss Recoleta? Are you okay? Miss Recoleta?
The smoke cleared, but no one respond. The named girl simply staring at
You're...
Oh!
Utopia derives from Greek, It means no place. People cannot understand the structure of the labyrinth, yet they continue to follow its paths.
Oh my god.
They cannot comprehend the mechanics of fate, yet they believe in its jurisdiction. As if, by doing so, everything will naturally fall into place. And now,
Oh!
the night approaches. How good it is to see you, pen pal.
He transformed! Oh my god! Does the Foundation ever actually require employees to check clock to clock in? Okay. Have you ever heard of Foucault? Senator? Yes, he's a renowned French philosopher and social theories. Theories. I read books about his theories at the SPDAM. So those are precisely the kind of books they never confiscated. Sorry, I don't understand. Never mind that. Can you explain what you read in detail? Alright. Foucault argued that madness isn't a natural phenomenon, but rather a cultural construct. In early times, punishment was a public spectacle, a display of power for the rulers. Nowadays, things are different. After the Enlightenment, punishment became a form of public education, intended primarily to deter crime. That's true. The phrase public execution has all but disappeared from everyday language. Discipline and punishment. By that logic, the SPDM aligned closely with Foucault's ideals. But Deleuze believed that another model of power had replaced this disciplinary power, the power of administration, a highly effective yet indifferent system of management. The system holds control over the environment, and under such circumstances, the individual inner self ceases to matter. Timekeeper, is this discussion because of what the physician said? That's right. Initially, I just want to hear your perspective on this. Now, I'm starting to see how this bottle reduced people to little more than animals. Right, Timekeeper. Okay. Part 14. The Mask in the Mirror. Between two mirrors hang a single object, one face, two faces, cascading into the infinite.
Where did the physician go? Wait. Sir? Are you?
No one noticed when the unfamiliar prisoner appeared. He seemed calm and almost ordinary, like an unchained mirror that had stood here all along in this room, in this labyrinth, passed unseen by everyone. The answer she now sees plainly makes her step back in panic. But in the end, she says the name out loud. It sounds heavy, cold, and leaves her at loss.
It's you. My pen pal. You are, in fact, in Komala. All those letters, all the ideas we shared, they weren't just my imagination or some prank. Vertin, Soneto, it's all just as I told you. They weren't meaningless. They're all real.
Yet why does he feel no joy?
So, sir, are you Aleph, the ruler of this prison? Are you the one controlling the panopticon with the die? The one hiding Miss Dores's whereabouts?
What curious inquiries. Quite different from the last 2,666 questions I've received. My guests, you may call me Aleph, or by any other name, be it a symbol of God's oneness or a farcical epithet. I am merely one of the many prisoners who voluntarily reside here, a single letter in the alphabet of the Panopticon.
A letter? The way you speak is quite different from Dr. Merlin. Still, I wonder what your relationship is with him.
Under the dim light, the man looked
But allow me
strained.
to make a guess. You're Dr. Merlin, aren't you?
I'm afraid that's not entirely accurate, but you may think of it that way. Merlin is a figment born of my mind, an incomplete reenactment. He is me, yes, but not entirely. He, or rather they, failed to find their answers. They fought against their predestined fates, only to be inevitably crushed under their weight. I simply stood by and watched it all unfold. That was the extent of our relationship.
They?
You've already met Merlin and the Idealist, even witnessed their demise. Shackled by the delusions of verses, the Idealist lost his own name. Merlin, too, imprisoned himself within the system of the Panopticon. I'm sure their desperate pursuits caused you some trouble. Please forgive them. After all, your fleeting encounters led to the demise of them both.
I think I understand now. The Idealist and the Physician are both parts of you. Or, to put it another way, they're your alter egos.
Yes. It seems the jailer diagnosed that the whole prison is mad has been shown to be more accurate than anyone could have
The
imagined.
physician mentioned Manus Vindictae. What's the relationship between this prison and the Manus?
Visitors from the Foundation, we all witnessed those eras perish. In 1977, not long before the fourth storm, I arrived in Ushuaia. Shortly after, some members of the National Foucault Studies Association reached out to me. But it wasn't just them. An arcanist organization called Manus Vindictae also approached me. Each of them wanted answers. They named me their advisor.
You acted as an advisor to the Manus?
The two parties presented me with a concept and a parable, respectively.
A concept and a parable?
The Foucault Association sought to explore the feasibility of the Panopticon concept here, while Manus Vindictae showed me a parable of the past and future. Day and night, I wandered through endless texts, endless realities, as I searched for answers. And thus, Merlin was born. He was both an experiment and a price I paid. A new concept, a new direction. Pursuing such things always leaves me confined by the limitations of human knowledge. Merlin spent his entire life exploring Foucault's theories in pursuit of that singular yet infinite answer.
What about the Manus, Mr. Aleph? You didn't explain why you helped them.
Explain why? Because they asked me to, just as you have. I simply worked to answer their questions.
So you're saying that, to you, we are no different from Manus Vindictae?
Yes,
And
actually.
if we ask, you'll answer us, without holding anything back?
Is that not precisely what is happening this very moment?
Oh, he's not wrong. Aleph picks up the fallen die. It flickers with a familiar comforting glow.
This is what the Manus gave Merlin. A magical die named the Tear of Kamala. It was once a gemstone that belonged to a god. At the beginning of the century, explorers plucked it from an ancient gate they discovered in Antarctica. To the explorers' amazement, the gemstone could turn human desires into reality. So they cut it into a die, a symbol of fate, and used it to build a sanatorium, which was later transformed into the panopticon you are standing in right now.
His words are direct, yet they still leave the outsider perplexed.
Then, Aleph, you really are the mastermind behind the panopticon?
The silent girl grips her notebook. Her clench turns white. The draft of the unpublished novel, with words which only she knows, the countless hours spent on her desk, the self-reflection, the meticulous, visionary vision. The book holds the life of its writer.
You said Merlin used the panopticon to seek his answer. What does that have to do with my novel? I don't get it, Aleph. Why would you use my novel to manipulate this place? Roberta, Garcia, Octavia, Pablo, the jailer, everyone. Not one of them deserved to be trapped in a deadly loop in which everyone's fate is already predestined. They're just like the ghosts in Amalfitano, inescapably trapped within the ruins. Tell me, what is it you really want?
Hearing this, the lonely prisoner fidgets with a die, looking puzzled.
It's not about what I want. It's about what you want. The third line of your first letter. You said you wanted to give the rise and fall of sanity an ending.
Wow. Oh, backstory time. Draft of a strange incantation. The greatest arcane skills demand thorough preparation. Every list is the crystallization of countless insights. Regarding the Blood by Waterstain ritual, 1. A large number of canis. This should be an easily achievable goal for Manus Vindictae. Young people capable of lifting bricks and setting sail are plentiful. Devotion remained the best catalyst. 2. Royal Lion's Tail, Sacred Scarab Wings, Nucleotile Shells. When combined with the Fountain of Immortality, it seems likely that Manus Vindictae's aim to achieve something extraordinary. Given the shell's properties, it can withstand an immense amount of energy, ensuring the ritual's success. This is indeed an incantation requiring considerable meticulous preparation. The location, Blurred by Waterstain, remains an excellent choice, but for the ritual itself, timing is of paramount importance. The time referred to here is not our traditional understanding, but time itself. A tattered invitation. A serpent brings an apple, but I already posed the wisdom. Dear Aleph, the National Focal Study Association extends a formal invitation for you to join our organization. Our mission is to guide society and the world towards a more structured and enlightened future. We believe your exceptional abilities will be instrumental in achieving this vision. We eagerly await your response. Sincerely, Jose Tartuffe. Kamala Prison, Ushuaia. Well, backstory time, part 15. Aleph. Wait.
Los registros históricos del Dado de Babilonia aún se pueden encontrar en la biblioteca de la Universidad Santa Teresa. No. Una apertura como esta haría la historia demasiado ambigua. En 1975, en el pueblo de Amalfitano, Sonora, México, ocurrió algo terrible y escalofriante en la cabaña con el techo azul. Todo comenzó con las costumbres peculiares de los Espera, ¿cómo supe todo esto? Necesito agregar un ro para el narrador. El cuentacuentos. Un poeta surrealista de México me contó esta historia. Una anciana entró en el bar al que solía ir en el pueblo. Al mismo tiempo,
el empleado del banco también entró al bar trayendo la noticia de que una corporación multinacional iba a construir una fábrica de jabón de galletas en Amalfitano.
Espera, empleado del banco. No sabía que había bancos en Amalfitano. Pero sí, tiene sentido. Los bancos comerciales son, sin duda, un sello del capitalismo. Gracias, amigo por correspondencia. Antes de convertirse en empleado del banco, era un defensor de las antiguas costumbres del pueblo. Era un pescador de dunas.
Después de aceptar el destino otorgado por el Dado de Babilonia, eligió dejar todo atrás, el triste y aterrador pueblo y los ciclos ocultos dentro de la infinita aleatoriedad.
Oh, qué irónico, pero también es realista. Ahora solo necesitamos un personaje contrastante, un creyente en el destino. Una anciana tejedora se sentó en su antiguo taller, girando incansablemente su rueca, un regalo precioso otorgado por el Dado de Babilonia.
La tejedora ciega relató suavemente todo lo que había vivido.
¡Qué idea brillante, Aleph! Una tejedora ciega no podría haber presenciado el asesinato. ¡Fantástico! En este caso, agregaré a un conductor de burros que es asesinado en este capítulo. Con cada una de tus sugerencias, la historia da un paso adelante. Gracias, Aleph. Pero todavía no veo ninguna señal del final. Es como si no importara cuántos personajes nuevos agreguemos. Todavía falta algo en el pueblo desértico. Le falta una figura clave. Aleph, ¿qué debo hacer? ¿Cómo le doy un final a esta historia?
Tú misma me preguntaste, ¿cómo le doy un final a esta historia? Me describiste cómo tus palabras se habían transformado en un rompecabezas desmesurado infinito, un lenguaje irreconocible, una colección de información ambigua y una parábola que había perdido todo su significado. La ausencia de un final aún te roe, atrapándote para siempre en ese abrasador pueblo desértico. Todo lo que estoy haciendo es intentar encontrarlo para ti.
¿Estás diciendo que has estado manipulando los acontecimientos en el panóptico desde que intercambiamos cartas por primera vez septiembre pasado?
She struggled, vainly hoping for him to deny it.
Sí, cada vez que revisabas la novela, se hacían ajustes correspondientes en el panóptico, Reflejar fielmente las complejidades de cada detalle era clave para asegurar que la historia avanzara sin problemas. Estos ajustes los manejaba principalmente Merlin, a veces el idealista, y antes de ellos, Zahir y Paracelso.
¿Cada vez?
6 versiones de la historia del Amalfitano ya se han desarrollado en el Panóptico.
Eso significa la rana aplastada en el barro, la vaca muriendo de vieja, el lirón cayendo al mar, el fantasma asesinado en el duelo y los cambios repentinos al dado de Babilonia. Todas las revisiones que sugeriste, todas las muertes, el caos y la locura, ¿realmente sucedieron aquí mismo?
The ever-known prisoner falls to a long, dark silence. Will not answer a question when the one asking already knows the answer.
Incluso la eternidad tiene sus límites, o Recoleta. In the 6th revision, we added the blind weaver, an extraordinary figure. Just like the paracausality researcher who carries a suitcase that you introduced in your 7th letter.
The paracausality researcher carrying a suitcase. Miss Recoleta, is this character really based on the Timekeeper?
What? Of course not. The paracausality researcher is an entirely different character.
Don't you understand? We're only one die roll away from the ending.
Aleph, lift the core of the infinite labyrinth. The tear of Kamala swirls slowly in his hand.
What on earth are you trying to do?
What is he trying? Oh my god! Oh my god! The filament lamps, the dim in the night, in the time of. What? Where are we? Within the mirror, an endless stream of information appear. A seemingly perilous telephone babbling, an old radio sings, a flicker slide projector would like a mute film projector spin, a timeless. Oh my god, that's a lot of things. The world without the room without exit, an eternal predicament. A prisoner.
It is the cycle of fate that has brought you to the Panopticon of Komala in Ushuaia. Now, return to the rise and fall of sanity. Return and become a character once more. You've been searching for its ending, but how could you possibly find it when you're no longer inside the story? I believe that this time you will witness the grand finale with your own 2 eyes. No more sadness, no more loneliness. The answer you've long sought lies in the inevitable final roll of the die.
So, the jailer is the bank clerk, and Erd is the blind weaver. But what about Roberta, Garcia, and Octavia? They weren't even assigned roles. They were just playthings, helpless in the face of fate. What right do you or I have to decide what happens to them? To dictate their gains and losses?
But they couldn't possibly understand such a thing, could they? To you, it's just a story. But to them, it is the manifestation of bittersweet destiny.
Do you think hiding behind the guise of fiction absolves you from the reality that you've turned the Panopticon into a living hell? Yes. You're the only one who truly understands the rise and fall of sanity. Goodness knows how many manuscripts I sent out that never received a reply. I was so grateful to you. For your replies, for understanding my novel. Those things were more precious to me than any sunrise over the Andes. Had I known that your feedback was created in such a way, and at such a cost, I would have preferred not to receive it at all. Don't you get it? Even if they don't understand my novel, the people I meet are still my friends. Whether we took a long journey together or we simply chatted for a few hours, we formed an inseparable, miraculous bond. They're a part of me. How could you treat them like fictional characters? It's disrespectful to my work and to life itself.
The writer's resistance is so sharp that it cuts through Aleph's carefully constructed labyrinth easily.
But you raised the question yourself. Why do you resist receiving its answer?
He lowers his head, and for the first time, cracks appear on the indestructible mass. Oh, I'm blinded.
They're always like this, aren't they? They throw a question at you, only to abandon it along with the fading of the era. This storm will spare no one. You've known it all along, Aleph. Only the timeless Panopticon can maintain control. The all-seeing tower. The perfect governing system. What a hopeless fool you are, Merlin. Haven't you heard what they say? There is no need to build a labyrinth when the whole world already is one. Your meaningless questions will be swept away by the tides of time, only to resurface on the shores of our minds once more. We've seen it happen over and over again. Surely you've realized by now that the only true meaning can be found in literature. For over a century, literature has remained the singular, ultimate answer. This lonely cowboy is simply feeling lost at the moment. Spare us your rambles, my dear. You're wasting our time.
Enough.
The dye that reflects the heart can no longer bear its weight, as it glows from within the burning fissure. When the surrounding mirrors, countless reflections of Aleph appear, each wear a different face. The crowd into the room as a flood of ghosts.
Aleph seems to be in a terrible state. We have to be careful. Something isn't right about that dye.
It's time to fight. Let's fight the dye. Oh my god. Quit switching my team.
I will handle this myself.
Maybe of course. Come on in. Oh my god.
Go ahead. Keep the story going. Carry it through until we finally feel the sweet gratification of the ending. Your endeavors are doomed to fail. There's only madness in literature and art, not transcendentality.
Wait for the...
Let's shake hands.
En la acumulación de laberintos, suéltalo todo una vez más.
Oh my.
New friends.
Do I have to do this? Not a fan of my work, I take it? Me falló en todos los momentos.
Even of my soul into the darkness.
Huh, a truly villainous moment. Nuestro adversario es el tiempo.
They'll die faster that way. Get out of my way.
You see it coming.
It hurts.
Wait for it. Even Apollo bows before me.
En la acumulación de laberintos, suéltalo todo una vez más.
Oh, second phase.
Will you be my friends too?
It will be over before you feel
Aliado
it.
es la verdad.
I shall end your life.
It's must.
Once the soul into...
En todo más allá del concepto mundano del tiempo.
I hope you like it here, even if you were bad friends.
Let the earth tremble.
En la acumulación de laberintos. Suéltalo todo una vez más.
I should eat while I have time.
Liberato dal fratello.
Idealismo. Vuelos de fantasía. Nuestro adversario es el tiempo.
Coglione.
These explorations, these fractures, they're all failures, aren't they? In this infinite expanse, I feel nothing but infinite sorrow.
You have done well, comrade.
Thank you, comrade. The chaotic battle comes to an abrupt halt.
Wait, Mr. Aleph, are you human?
Senator steps back, lowering her fists further. She's shocked to realize that her opponent has no arcane skills at all, from beginning to end.
Please hand over the
This
die
was a die.
peacefully.
Mr. Aleph, please stop resisting. It's futile.
Futile. Yes, it's all futile. The cage of rules, the ideals of literature, both are futile. Mere illusions conjured along the path to transcendentality. They all fear that they're nothing more than phantoms in someone else's dream. That reality will devour everything, including their very existence. That's why they drift further away from transcendentality. They couldn't break free from that false dream. None of them could.
Aleph stumbles as he looks up at the storyteller.
Both the physician and the idealist walked toward their own destruction, just as I expected. But your novel still has hope, Recoleta. Its ending hasn't been written yet. We cannot deny that it may be the answer to achieving transcendentality.
You're not going to stop, are you? Not until you get your answer. Sonetto, we have no choice but to seize the die from him by force.
Sonetto Arcane's energy gathered at the tip of her glass figure. At the moment, the silent storyteller steps
Enough.
forward.
I said enough.
She shakes as she reveals the notebook that has never left her side. I think it's a backstory. I mean, technically it is, but yeah. Someone has an unsent letter. Someone has already opened it. Perhaps the lady, or perhaps the sender themselves, opened the envelope. Dear Mrs. Recoleta, I have completed reading the 6th edition of The Rise and Fall of Sanity, which you enclose with your letter dated February 8, 1991. Below are some of my personal insight and suggestion for the story's direction. I believe we are nearing the conclusion, and I sincerely hope you never lost your passion for writing. Additionally, regarding the character of Blinding Weaver, the letter remained unfinished, as it appeared the correspondent encountered an unseeable corruption. Part 16. The Boundaries of Fiction. Oh, 1990. Guadalajara International Book Fair. People move between bookshelves and corridors, engage in heated conversation. The air is filled with mingling of multiple language.
I'm afraid we can't publish your novel in its current state, Recoleta. We look forward to seeing more refined work from you in the future. Ah, Senor Cruz! What a pleasure to see you here. I'm an editor from the Naranja Dulce publishing house. Could you spare a moment to discuss the copyright for The Bluebird? We're huge fans of your children's literature.
The editor leaves, hurrying after another writer, leaving Recoleta standing alone in place. The 17th publisher to reject her today.
Relax, Recoleta. Look at all the books around you. This place is heaven. You can't get down on yourself. Not here. There's so many writers and publishers here. It's only natural you'd be turned down 17 times. This is just the beginning.
The young writer, attempting to forget her 17th rejection, flips through the event guide in her hand.
Now, which section should I visit next? Oh, this brochure might help.
She turns to the last page of the thick handbook, where all the invited author and their contact information are listed.
An exchange of ideas between writers. Nothing could be more incredible than that. I recall James Joyce was inspired by a letter he received from Henrik Ibsen. So, maybe what I need is to find someone to share my manuscript with. But who? Tadeo Emasums. Aleph. Averroes.
Lama apartment, Buenos Aires. A knock at the door interrupts her daydream.
Oh, it's you, senor. Don't worry. I promise I'll catch up on the rent next month. Although I must say, this apartment's hardly worth the price. The cracks on the walls must date back to the last century.
Make all the excuses you want, Ingrid. If you don't pay the rent soon, you'll either end up in that crumbling colonial building on the corner or on the street, selling oranges at the San Telmo market. By the way, Julia told me you lost your job at the textile factory. You under some kind of can't work in one place for more than 3 months, curse or something, senorita?
Oh, you don't even want to know about the terrible things that happened in that factory. All I did was lend the oppressed workers a hand.
Bah, you're just like those college kids, full of hot air. Anyway, I am not here about the rent. Didn't you tell me to watch out for your letters a while back, when you just returned from abroad? Well, here it is, a letter for you.
A girl freezes for a moment, then snatched the paper and slammed the door shut, almost buzzing with excitement as she unfolded.
Dios mío! Someone actually wrote back to me! This is incredible! Oh, thank you so much for bringing it to me, senor!
Just open the long traveling
Dear
letter.
Miss Recoleta. It's from, let's see, Aleph.
Oh, my eyes, it hurts. Street, Buenos Aires.
Hey, I've been watching you. You're not local, are you? What are you writing? Oh, hola. You're right. I just arrived in Buenos Aires 3 days ago. My trip's been a lot like a Copes tango performance, full of twists and turns, but nothing much worth telling, really. I'm actually writing a reply to my pen pal. Long story short, I sent him a manuscript of my novel, and to my surprise, he actually wrote back. Amazing, isn't it? In our recent letters, we've been discussing how my novel lacks a key character to drive the story toward a decisive ending. So we've been debating whether to introduce a new ghost to act as a turning point for the story. Oh, so then you're a writer? Hey, Pancho, come over here. I found an actual real-life writer.
What?
What's the big deal? I wrote plenty of poems in middle school.
Middle school.
Oh, so you're a poet.
Back in the
I have a
day.
feeling we're are about to embark on an incredible adventure together. Are you interested in joining the visceral realism movement?
What? I've never heard of it, but it sounds like fun.
Fabuloso! We have no time to waste. Once I finish this letter, you two must join me on a journey to Ushuaia.
Ushuaia? The end of the world? Why the heck would we go to that icebox?
Oh, don't be such a downer, Pancho. Just think of the fun we'll have, the breathtaking scenery we'll see, and the incredible stories we'll hear.
Fine, Maria. I'll deal with the cold if you really want to go so badly.
By the way, could you tell us about your novel?
Of course. I'll tell you all about it on the way. Now where to begin? Alright, let's start with the cottage with the blue roof and Amalfitano. It's been 6 months since we first exchanged letters. Since then, I've been traveling. First from Chile to Mexico, then from Mexico to Argentina. And I've never stopped writing. I'm not really sure what the purpose of my novel is. I just keep writing and writing. I can't stop. What power does literature hold? What responsibilities? Perhaps only by continuing to write will I understand one day.
Recoleta flips through her notebook, every turn of the page containing a different colored letter. After their long journey, these pages of letter form a faded riddle, their handwriting long since
Aleph,
blurred.
You're right. I do want an ending to my novel. But not like this.
You really have no idea, do you, Recoleta?
Her only reader realizes she has still not grasped what is happening, or seems to reveal the truth as he has long
The
concealed.
rise and fall of sanity is your story.
What do you mean?
You are a ghost, wandering this forsaken land, still striving to create a miracle. You are a wandering poet, born in Amalfitano, the foolishly brave protagonist of the story, and the embodiment of the author herself. A reflection, yes. The author, no. You are simply a figment of her imagination, a manifestation of her dream to wander. Have you not realized it? The literary pursuits and romantic adventures you described, they are merely faded memories from 1975. The poets who joined the visceral realism movement with you left Latin America long ago.
Faded memories.
As for the novel, it's yours now. A story you're writing, a story about yourself. Your departure has turned Amalfitano into a ghost town. The characters have lost their connection to you. They're gradually fading away. If the novel is destroyed, you too will cease to exist.
Wait. This is... Miss Recoleta? Is what he said true?
I know you never lie, pen pal. In your first letter, you told me that a character's role in fate must be determined from the outset and consistently adhered to throughout the story. Reading the perspective and insights of a walking encyclopedia, having such a person be willing to share their thoughts at all was an exhilarating experience. I had never imagined my novel could develop in this way. Words could hardly describe how I felt in that moment. No one but you has ever understood the story of that town, let alone offered any revisions. Following your advice, I added the bank clerk, the dune pescator, the blind weaver, and the murdered donkey driver. Amalfitano was no longer an empty town with a single blue-roofed cottage. The new ghostly residents had begun to fill the skies over it. The story was finally reaching completion. I could feel that the ending was within reach. I became increasingly eager to meet my pen pal. I couldn't get the thought out of my mind. I wasn't sure what I would say to this Aleph. A simple thank you, perhaps, or maybe a discussion about the future of Amalfitano with its sole reader. Or maybe I'm no different from everyone else, led up the garden path by fate. But even if I am a ghost, as you say, an incarnation of someone else, a fictional being, so what? My resolve will not waver, even if my existence is bound to fade away. Because this isn't what literature is supposed to be. You once told me there isn't an ounce of reality in fiction, only voids and glorified lies. Let me tell you this. Whether real or fictional, corporeal or intangible, I have accepted my existence. Now, let's put a stop to this, Aleph.
Oh!
The inmates aren't characters in my novel. They're people trapped in a prison, just as you are. By simulating my story here, you have made me into some kind of god, a guilty, false creator, a dictator of fate. I never wanted any of this.
Who are we fighting? Aleph? Again?
I will handle this myself.
Maybe others.
This is my position. I have all the essentials.
Oh,
for
the
writing
ghost.
poetry. You, me, and our opponent.
Lo veo. La frecuencia perfecta. La admirable aleatoriedad del destino. Creo que lo he encontrado. La fuente del dado de Babilonia.
Las deudas de los muertos. Esas facturas. Todas han sido hechas trizas. ¡Ya no estoy atrapado!
Desde el día en que perdí la vista, nunca imaginé que la rueda giratoria volviera a girar.
Okay.
En la acumulación de laberintos, suéltalo todo una vez más.
Liberato dalla paura.
Nuestro aliado es la verdad. Take a closer look. Let's shake hands.
Liberato dal fratello.
A truly villainous moment. Do I have to do this? It hurts.
Che la morte ti dia la pace che cercavi. Requiescat in pace.
Oh, the ghost came out. Shattered Word and Ghostly Illusion roar forth, breaking free from the story structure and grasp between its line filled with regret and obsession. Torn letter and book page flutter in the air like snow in the globe. Everything is quiet.
Huh? Miss Recoleta has vanished. Did she really cease to exist like Aleph said?
Recoleta.
I doubt she is. Book Fair Guide. a great marketplace for ideas and knowledge. B-Section Works Guide. The Bluebird Watson Cruise Children's Literature. Editor review the children's book, but not just for children. Viewing the world from a different perspective reveals an entirely new reality. 2. Fox Beneath the Sky. Audio. Social Literature. Editor's review. Classic intellectual autobiography offering a profound reflection on the nature of time. Sorry. 3rd. Blood Monster. Everose. Horror fiction. Editor's review. Undoubtedly the finest novel about vampiric creature this century. A 300-year tale of immortality, jealousy, and humanity. Attending author's contact information. Can I call Aleph? Part 17. The Ghosts of the Past. Beneath the earth, those who were never granted marble, no memories, call out her name. Oh my god. Cottage with blue roof. The costume is circulated. Then she wakes up. What? È una noche misteriosa. È viento trajo la fría dureza del desierto. En la cabana de techo azul, le lego è un sueño. Una carga si esquenas. I don't know why I'm doing this. E entonces desperto. Sorry.
Qué sueño más extraño.
Whoa. What in the hell is this?
El sabor de la realidad, tan amargo y triste. Pero lleno de pensamiento dialéctico. Tal vez la gente del panóptico reflejaba mis pensamientos internos.
She looks around, surveying the cobwebs corner where stacks of manuscripts have piled up onto the ceiling over an empty bottle collecting.
Entonces realmente soy un personaje en la novela. La misteriosa cabaña con el techo azul fue mi hogar todo el tiempo. Entonces, los rumores que los fantasmas propagaron eran realmente eso. Rumores.
The young writer steps out of her home and into the strip of the familiar yet foreign desert town. Colorless, nameless characters, ghosts arrive upon hearing the news, filling the roads and skies.
Bienvenida de nuevo a Amalfitano, querida escritora.
Gracias, querido ícono del capitalismo. Pero, ¿no desgarré esta novela en pedazos?
A woman wearing a particular hat steps forward.
Verás, Amalfitano es una dimensión más allá de la vida y la muerte. Este pueblo es un reflejo de tus pensamientos internos. Es incorpóreo. No puedes desgarrar algo incorpóreo en pedazos. La literatura es infinita y atemporal, como un río que fluye a través de la vida y la muerte.
No me extraña que seas mi personaje favorito. Nunca dejas de iluminarme.
Desafortunadamente, la literatura es una vocación peligrosa e inútil. Nadie entiende realmente, ni siquiera recuerda tu trabajo. ¿Recuerdas el dicho? Los únicos verdaderamente muertos son aquellos que han sido olvidados. Recoleta, desaparecerás para siempre si dejas a Amalfitano otra vez. será como si nunca hubieras existido.
Siempre he admirado tu pensamiento crítico, señor. Encaja perfectamente con tu rol.
Wow. Rough hand grasped the writer's palm, filling at the line each
Todo
into
estará
a
bien,
skin.
Recoleta. Lo que sea que haya pasado, ahora has regresado. Eso es lo que importa. El dado de Babilonia rodará de nuevo. Y cada uno de nosotros obtendrá nuestros finales.
The crowd erupted in cheers.
Así es. Resuelve el asesinato en el bar y pon mi alma en paz.
Libera al pueblo de la locura infligida por el antiguo espíritu.
Arregla la aleatoriedad del dado de Babilonia y aplana la frecuencia catastrófica.
Oh my god. The young writer takes a step forward. Everyone, the living and the ghosts, watch.
Entonces, el final que he estado buscando es el que el otro yo no pudo darme. El yo que se lanzó de cabeza a la lucha contra un poder invencible.
They die.
El yo que finalmente dejó esta tierra. Después de todo este tiempo, finalmente he encontrado mi final.
She grasps the gleaming die of Babylon. My eyes! I'm blinded. Oh, it went back to drawing.
Solo un lanzamiento más y todo habrá terminado. Mi historia, mi pueblo, todo finalmente llegará a su fin. Pero el sueño sobre el panóptico también terminará, ¿verdad?
She stops.
Oh, cariño, es solo un sueño.
Ah, no me digas que estás abandonando tu búsqueda de toda la vida por un miserable sueño.
Este sueño es cruel. Nadie entiende esta gran novela ahí ni este pueblo asombroso. Pero aquí, eres una verdadera escritora. Este es tu hogar, Recoleta.
Pero ya extraño a mis amigos en ese sueño. Existe, así como este lugar existe.
Pero nosotros también somos tus amigos, Recoleta.
Podrías desaparecer si dejas a Malfitano. ¿Estás segura de que quieres irte?
The young writer puts down the die in her hand. The die that signified the end of everything vanished into the sandy wind.
¿Sabéis cómo soy, queridos amigos? He pasado mi vida emprendiendo aventuras tontas y no recompensadas. Así soy yo, ¿verdad? Amalfitano es, en efecto, un lugar ideal. Un lugar para vagar, para un viaje corto y para perderse un rato. Y tiene ustedes, mis amigos ficticios, a quienes quiero tanto. Pero debo regresar a mi sueño y ver a mis amigos ahí. Ellos son igual de importantes para mí.
As they heard her word, the ghosts of the town smiled with relief.
Sí, tienes razón, Recoleta. No se puede negar que eres un alma noble y apasionada. Cada uno de nosotros lo sabe.
También eres nuestra querida amiga. ¿Por qué te detendremos de hacer lo que realmente deseas?
Everyone makes way for her as the path into the boundless void unfolds.
Deseamos lo mejor, Recoleta. Buenas noches, querida. Que tu sueño sea dulce esta vez.
Gracias a todos, mis amigos. Nunca los olvidaré.
The girl wipes the tears from her eyes and steps into the looming darkness. All is silent as she entered the barren land. There is only the faint sound of footsteps echoing against the vast and empty
I've read your
darkness.
work, Señorita Recoleta. To be frank, it lacks both depth and breadth. This town of yours is still far from reflecting the complexity of society, and the narrative lacks a discerning perspective. It still needs some work if you want it to truly resonate with our audience.
Ew, the editor.
Just go for it, Señorita. You're at a perfect age to explore, experience, and learn.
Time wheels, and at last the girl feels her existence again within the void.
What's happening to me?
1,000 or perhaps countless faces emerge before her again.
Ah, of course. The rise and fall of sanity is my story. So, even though the novel's been destroyed, the story, and myself along with it, lives on in the minds of those who read it. Thank you for your feedback, editor. Even here in this great expanse of darkness, I can still hear your words. You have my gratitude. Thank you for reading my novel, even if you didn't understand it, and likely never will.
She navigates a labyrinth of words and an endless expanse of mirrored water. The darkness surged towards her like a rushing wave of the darkness.
Honestly, I find your story totally fascinating. But I'm still struggling to understand the connections between all these nameless characters. Couldn't you make it clearer? Like a movie?
Typical. Trust a writer to try to be all obscure and mysterious.
Maria, Pancho, you guys are the best traveling pals I've ever had.
Definitely didn't run away from me.
Our paths may diverge in the future, but the joyful memories of our journey across grasslands, snowfields, and deserts together will remain forever.
It's been great coming along with you. You're totally one of a kind. We'll be waiting for you at my aunt's vineyard. A little sun after a hard day's work will do you good.
The passionate companion waves to her, never looking back as they continue forward. The girl's steps are no longer weightless. Every step she takes, the heavier it feels. She lingers inside the infinite mass in the mirror, the boundless universe filling her.
There is ambition in her writing. It's passionate and poetic, fractured and chaotic. But when viewed as a whole, her work feels like little more than a superficial illusion. It lacks the depth to truly touch the soul. I will refrain from offering further comments until she stops romanticizing her childish adventures.
To put it bluntly, her phraseology feels overly deliberate to the point of distortion. Her verbiage is like a collection of vague sentiment bubbles.
Wow, what is this?
I see, Aleph. Then this is how you really feel about my novel?
1,000 readers will interpret a story 1,000 different ways. Some believe the text itself is dead, and it is the reader who gives it life. The truth cannot be fully conveyed through words alone. That said, I think the rise and fall of sanity is a good story.
Our hearts skip the beat. Within this paradise that harbored the boundless history and mystery of...
So the Eternal Paradise is a library of sorts, just like I always imagined. Or is this just another reflection of my inner thoughts? I like it here. It's nice being surrounded by literature. But it's time to go back to reality.
Ah, my eyes! Oh, we're back.
You're right about literature, Dorside Beggar. It is a dangerous and futile calling, but I still believe in it.
The investigators from the Foundation breathe a sigh of relief together. Recoletta's reappearance is as sudden as her disappearance. Leto hasn't even had time to wipe the tears from one of her eyes.
You're back!
I'm so glad to see you're safe.
And I'm so glad to see you two worried sick about me. Thanks, mis mejores amigas Soneto y Burton.
The reborn writer turns to the prisoner sitting dejected nearby.
See, Aleph? I still exist.
Amalfitano is gone. It's all over. You're simply a wandering ghost now, never to return home again. You may still exist, but Amalfitano will never get its ending. You've nullified its existence, rendering all of this meaningless. I'm sorry I couldn't answer your question. I've failed once again.
His die falls to the ground. Once used to construct a beautiful dream, now whatever magic it has held is...
Amalfitano and the Panopticon were two parts of a whole. With Amalfitano gone, Komala no longer has any reason to exist.
I'm sorry, Aleph. You, who know all the mysteries of the world, who seek answers to every question, have lost yourself in the process. You can answer everyone else's questions, but never your own. Who's the person behind that mask? Is he real? Does he still exist?
Who am I?
The way the ending to the story leaves the prisoner to trap in a blurred illusion. While a prison grown like an aging water wheel struggling under its own weight, distorting, fading, and collapsing into
Stay
its
vigilant,
own.
everyone. This is just like when the idealist and the physician had their meltdown. Only this time, it seems even worse.
I think... Aleph is trying to tear down the Panopticon.
Beyond the crumbling walls, a shivering figure is faintly visible. Grips a gun tightly. Black barrel. Oh my god!
Freeze! Stay where you are. All of you.
Who the hell are you? What? 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 No!
Take a deep breath, soldier. The smoke's cleared now. This story, this battle, will soon come to an end. A writer has departed from her domain, leaving her creation scattered behind her, like blood-soaked bandages and fragmented skulls in the trenches. What a garbled mess.
I don't understand it at all.
Glad we're on the same page. Thank heavens my commander wasn't some kind of literature. Else I'd have been blown to bits before I could decipher their poetic orders.
We develop a sense of humor.
Well, it's all thanks to a certain writer. The embodiment of the wandering poet and traveler from Santiago to Buenos Aires. She impressed me with her precious experience as a cafe dishwasher and campground caretaker. What really rekindled my sense of humor was her seriousness about her literary pursuits. You'd understand what I mean if you'd ever heard a cheesy joke at a comrade's graveside. Drawing strength from her wanderings and rebellious exploits, she attempted to change society, wielding the sword of literature as a revolutionary intellectual and a leader of thought. Some would hail her as a battle angel of Latin America, with words as piercing as bullets and poems as powerful as tactical bombers.
I doubt literature has such a profound impact. I believe in the power of literature.
Many share your doubt, myself included. Here, come closer. Let me tell you a secret.
Not too close, not too close.
Many, if not all people, foolishly think it's the executioner who drops the guillotine blade, the powder that fires the bullet. While they're half right, they're substantially inaccurate. Craters on the battlefield aren't the result of bombs, but a clashing of ideologies. A trigger pulled long before the powder ever ignited in the barrel. As for literature, well, it's probably best not to buy too much into the Latin American boom. Forget about the status report from earlier. That said, at least there's one thing that's certain. Books can bite back, and they'll leave scars.
That's one way to say it. Part 18. In praise of Folie. A tiny boat adrifts upon a sea of ideals, convinced it has hoist sail. I think I saw Gracia. A prisoner steps out from behind a wall, a weapon held in his shaking hands.
I was just setting up my exhibit when everything started shaking. Then I realized it wasn't just my imagination.
Oh my god.
So I followed the cracks in the wall and found my way here. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but something's happening to the Panopticon, isn't it?
His panic hands shift the gun towards Aleph, who has collapsed on his side.
Are you the physician? Or is it Aleph? Whoever you are, please, please restore the Panopticon to the way it was. I'm begging you. You can do that, right?
The mind that once created infinity now watches as it falls back into nothing before him.
Why? Why aren't you doing anything, damn it? Why is this happening? Oh, the die. If you won't help me, then I'll do it myself.
The prisoner, in desperation, lunged forward.
Calm down, Garcia.
We fight!
Welcome, friends.
Into the...
Let's shake hands.
Make
the future brighter.
Wait for this.
Even Apollo bows before me.
Liberato dal
Take
fratello.
a closer look. You have done well, comrade.
Wait, that's it? That's so fast! I didn't even get a spoonful of it. Of my food.
Timekeeper, he's...
Garcia, weakened by his long confinement, is easily knocked to the ground, unable to withstand even the lightest touch of Archangel.
Why is this happening to me? I was so close to completing the exhibition.
Can't you see, Garcia? There's no one controlling this place now. You're free. It isn't the dye that's trapped you, nor is it the walls of this prison. It's the rules and that overpowering gaze from the central tower. But now that's all gone. You can go outside. You can set up your exhibit anywhere you want. No need to stay stuck in this.
Looking back at all of what he has lost, the artist cut her off.
No, Señorita Recoleta. You've seen the world out there. You know as well as I that there's nowhere else I can go but here. This is the only place in the world where I can hold my exhibit. And you've ruined it. You've ruined everything.
Aww. I wanna hug him. Aww.
This room's about to collapse. We've got to leave. Mr. Garcia, do you need a hand?
I can take care of myself, thank you. I'll go a different way. I have to go back and finish setting up my exhibit.
No. He dragged himself forward with trembling step, retracting his path to leave.
Burton, what about Aleph? We can't just leave him here.
Of course not. We still have questions he needs to answer. Sinetto, help me get him up. Let's get out of here.
Yes, Timekeeper.
The dejected prisoner looks at Sinetto with confusion.
Your words are always at odds with your thoughts. You carry an ocean of questions, yet never reveal even a single drop of them. Why have you never shared your doubts? Why do you stay silent in the face of everything and everyone around you?
I believe in my duty.
Look! The prisoner shifts his gaze to another Foundation investigator.
As for you, paracausality researcher, you're different from any other seeker of answers. Even on a desperate, near-hopeless journey, your heart holds little doubt.
Perhaps not every question needs an answer, Mr. Aleph.
Is that so?
The prisoner, so used to answering others' questions, seems to have run into one of his own. But unfortunately, no one is here to answer it. Wow, that is so sad!
Look, it's sinking. Corpses float on the planks, and the fleeing prisoners are swimming toward the shore. Time to abandon ship.
What ship?
One that was exiled to a desolate corner of the ocean by the resplendent civilized world. It's both a prison and a sanitarium. Are any of your friends aboard? If so, you might find the following report a little offensive. Dregs of society. Human scum. These are the terms used to describe its eccentric passengers. To be fair, they do lack discipline and independence. But that may well be a response to the heavy pain they've endured. Some theorists suggest that they're innocent victims, trapped in the confines between rationality and irrationality, defined and redefined by historians as they please. But let's ditch the theories and simplify things. The moment the shackled called madness was fastened around their necks, whether they were truly mentally ill or not, their lives were forever scarred.
Oh, sorry.
And now, the mad passengers are storming the shore.
A favorable outcome. Desperation did it. No, a favorable outcome.
I suppose it is. You can see the joy in their faces, even in the footprints they leave behind as they hop across the beach.
What the fuck? What is it?
Yes, freedom is favorable indeed. The freedom to squander our lives, to trample on the dignity of others, the freedom to embrace absurdity and meaninglessness. Let's dig deeper. Scavenge through the messy battlefield for dog tags. Were these people born mad?
After watching the inhabitants of this earth tear each other apart in one war after another, I've concluded this. Only knowledge drives people to madness. Ignorance does not. Madness is a side effect of the sedative that is knowledge. As long as those on land continue to consume it, this ship will never be short on recruits. This is a war between madness and civilization. Both sides have leveled accusations, spilled blood, and pummeled each other. And soon, everyone will have leapt into the trenches and been beaten to a bloody pulp. Only a few can escape this fate.
Like who?
Check your 6.
What?
The one leaning against the sunken ship, showing no signs of struggle or sorrow. Garcia.
No.
The seawater has flooded his windpipe and reddened his eyes.
Oh my god.
Yet there he is, staring blankly at the shore. He's in his home base. He holds no hope for forgiveness from his enemies. Not in the slightest. He's a one-man army, fighting only for himself.
I knew he matters. I knew he's something. Oh my god.
Now, do a 360 and look again. He's been utterly defeated.
Grab him. Save him. That is so sad. R19. Aspect of madness. Dreams are the first and last dance partner of madness. But we don't have to fight on this one, so it should be good.
Dear Erd, why are you so interested in the Panopticon of Kamala? Dear Mr. Aleph, whether as a doctor or a writer, I simply cannot turn a blind eye to the friction around me.
Especially the discord and injustice I have witnessed here in Kamala.
A blind eye.
So, I would ask of you a question. Is there any way to resolve the endless conflicts in this place?
To put an end to this, a true ending is required. Your arrival has made it possible for this simulation to have an ending, or rather, a victory.
What do you mean by victory? I'd appreciate it if you could clarify in simple terms. If this victory comes at the cost of any inmate's life, I'm afraid I cannot accept it. I also have another question for you. If I leave, will the stories and conflicts here come to an end?
Miss Grace of Manus Vindicte will grant you passage. But in any case, the cycle of history will continue to repeat itself in this prison, and in the entire world. The sins of humankind will not cease until veins turn to wires, flesh and bone to geometric shapes, and the world around us twists in the colors of an oil painting.
I must say, your words have left me rather baffled. Fragments of the events you describe often appear in my dreams. Could it be that these things really happened? If that's the case, why can't I recall the details? Why am I left with only disconnected pieces? The madness in Kamala, these bizarre dreams. I must put an end to them. What have I forgotten? Has someone or something altered my memory? I can't shake the feeling that something crucial to me has been lost in the river of time. Some kind of duty, perhaps. What should I do? How can I recapture what I have lost?
I won't answer a question that already has an answer. one given to you by the person who escorted you here and made you a promise. You're so close to the place where the truth lies. Think carefully. Why are you here?
We're outside.
These letters we found have answered a great deal. But there's still something that isn't clear. Mr. Aleph, what exactly did the Manus promise Dr. Dorez?
An era. A chance for her to remember her duty.
An era? You helped her leave the Panopticon in the end. Where did she go?
Momentarily rose from his dream. The prisoner looked blankly for a moment before his gaze drifted back to the distant illusion.
Southward. There, on the No Man's continent, Manus Vindictae is preparing to recreate the parable of the past and future. A glorious past and a glimmering future belonging to Arcanus. Dr. Dorez is deeply connected to this particular parable.
What exactly are the Manus planning to do in Antarctica? And why would Dr. Dorez go there voluntarily?
Information reveals stirs unease in the heart of the investigators from the Foundation.
Mr. Aleph, when did Dr. Dorez depart?
It was a day when both the clouds and sun were visible.
A day when both the clouds and sun were visible. Could you be more specific?
Pacific? You mean the time of day?
His mind long ago lost any sense of time, a necessary exchange to make room for an infinite cosmos of words. He once again found himself without an answer.
When both clouds and the sun were visible. Hey, Vertin, I think I know. It was 3 days ago. Then Dr. Dorez wasn't going to Comala on the day I met her. She was leaving. She was headed to Antarctica. It was cloudy that afternoon, with a brief spell of sunshine, just like Aleph described.
Then it hasn't been long since she left. Excellent news.
3 days. If we set off immediately, we might still catch up to her. But, based on the intel we gathered in Ushuaia, Manus Vindictae bombed the entire port 3 days ago. Clearly, they wanted to prevent any interference from the Foundation. It's unlikely we'll find any functioning ships there. I'll report the situation to the Buenos Aires branch. Timekeeper, I'm afraid we'll have to find another way to get there.
I have a boat.
Oh, conveniently. A small boat gifted by Manus Vindictae. During the past several storms, he has taken the boat traveling to Antarctica at Manus' invitation to
Could you
evade
lend it to us?
subversion.
The situation's urgent, Mr. Aleph.
Secret Dock, Ushuaia. Beneath the decrepit lighthouse, a battered little boat bobbed and sinked. It's small and fragile, not the kind that seems capable of raising
This
an
boat
ICC.
will automatically take you to McMurdo Port, the landing point Manus Vindictae established by the shores of the Ross Sea.
Caneto's eyes at the boat recepted them, carefully distrusted the
This
advisor.
looks like Manus technology. Its arcane energy source is highly unstable. Timekeeper, I suggest we wait for support in Ushuaia.
I don't usually agree with Soneto, but I have to admit, I don't have much confidence that a boat this small can actually make it to Antarctica.
Mr. Aleph, do you know anything about Manus Vindictae's ritual? How far has it progressed?
The ritual could begin at any moment. I believe that's why they left Kamala. Upon departure, One of their members, a woman named Grace, told me they would seal off the sea.
Are we too late?
If you wish to find Doris, you must follow the same path she took.
The distant drone of a raging wave filled their background like a repeating omen.
I see. Mr. Aleph, members of the Foundation branch will arrive soon to evaluate your condition. I hope you'll answer their questions with the same patience you showed us. Thank you. Sonetto, let's go.
Yes, Timekeeper.
As always, Sonetto keeps any mission irrelevant inquiries to himself. The girl preparing to set sail turns to the
Thank you for your assistance
writer
too,
beside them.
Recoleta. Perhaps you'll consider joining the...
Nope. The thunderous crash echoes from behind them, the sound of a collapsing building.
What was that? It came from the Panopticon.
I thought you guys knew that the Panopticon's gonna collapse. What? I was so confused. A journey to fro. This is a passage. There is a passage here. It's unknown. It's author unknown. I return once more to Komala prison. To me, this massive cage is no longer an inescapable labyrinth. When I left, the lady from the Manus Vindicte did not stop me. Yet I could still feel her gaze. So sorrowful and blurred, so cold, never once shifting away from me. On the street of Ushuaia, a young girl pointed me back towards the prison. That severed thread tugged at my heart, and I knew with certainty that my mission lay here. If I were placed before fate, my life and death would seemingly follow a predetermined path to its distant end. And as I walk this path, I must carry not even a shadow of hesitation. It is time to speak with Aleph, the one who answers all my questions. In the place of my ashes. Is this correlate with Arcana's ash? As day breaks, the story ends where the ash rests. In the end, the night is not eternal. It burned down? Blazing flames reflect in their eyes, just like the name of this island might suggest. A winter night stands sentinel over a great conflagration as every brick of the Kamala prison collapses and falls.
With Aleph's control gone, Komala is collapsing. The inmates aren't even real criminals, are they? And they're still in there with no clue that they're no longer being watched from the central tower. We have to go tell them. We have to get them to safety.
Yes, we should help them get out, at least until support arrives. But the Manus ritual...
The battered boats sway within their sight.
Don't worry. I'll go alone.
Huh?
You should hurry. When this is all over, I'll write to you, my dear friend. During this journey together, our teamwork has been impeccable. So, you can trust me to do this. I'm not doing it just to help you or the organization you represent. I'm doing it because the inmates are my friends.
Okay, I trust you. Take care of yourself, Recoleta.
But if the storm truly is imminent, as Dr. Merlin said, Then, Miss Recoleta, you...
Senator, more familiar than anyone with the Foundation in exhaustive regulation, has no ready answer. She knows that in this era, before those Arcanists who remain ignorant of the truth, she must watch
I
her.
don't quite understand what this storm is all about. But don't worry. A brand new adventure is the best thing that can happen to a writer. And I doubt it'll surpass the epic adventures we've shared over the past couple of days. I'm going to write everything, including the two of you, into my new novel.
Then I'd like to be the first to read this new novel, if that's alright.
Of course. Listen, I believe literature is like an endless, timeless river. So we'll meet again someday, somewhere. Probably in someone else's story. Who knows?
She takes one last look at her new friend, feeling as longing as they have known. And without a backward glance, the girl sprints back to the
Adiós,
burning.
mis queridos amigos.
Is Aleph coming with us? Oh my god! Or the visitors depart one after another. Amidst the distant echoes of singing, the creator of this prison stares into the fire as it burns. The moment holds for a time until a breathless jaguar appears at the dock edge, staring at the human before her
Dr.
with
Merlin,
intensity.
you're Dr. Merlin, right? I finally found you. What on earth happened in the central tower? Right after I left, the whole panopticon started collapsing. The tower's in ruin. I've been looking for you everywhere. Please, sir, come with me. It isn't safe.
That won't be necessary. The snow is still falling, yet everything in the labyrinth has already gone up in flames. Fortune, fate, karma, they're nothing but a ridiculous joke. It's over, Jaguar. You have lost your memories, your identity, your name, and now your title. You are no longer a jailer trapped in the Panopticon.
I don't get it, Dr. Merlin. What are you talking about?
The jailer takes a step back, her protege instantly sensing the danger in the words to come. The damage may not be physical, but it threatened to shatter what little faith she had left to hold on to, the life she has already known.
I'm going back to Kamala. Order must be maintained. The prisoners mustn't be allowed to escape. Please take care, Dr. Merlin.
nerve thrown between panic and hesitation. The jailer at Austin.
Hey, you! Don't run off like that. It's dangerous.
No one heard her cries. One prisoner after another flee in terror, escaping the crumbling labyrinth.
In deserts, in stars, in labyrinths.
We dream on death's straw pillow.
The jailer drifted through the raging scene, unable to steer a sensible course. At last she pinned down a frail, powerless prisoner beneath her weight.
Get off me! Let me go! Are you blind? The panopticon is falling apart!
It's you, Roberta.
The jailer recognized the prisoner under her grip. Roberta, a kind and quiet prisoner, always well behaved, now panicked and desperate to escape.
They are all mad! I knew it! They've been insane from the start! The whole place is burning to the ground and they still want to leave! They're still talking and talking about things that no one cares about! I can't help them! I never understood what they were talking about. The rhythms, the fractions, the ideologies. Yes, the people were nice. The idealists too, but I've had enough of this prison. I've had enough of the panopticon.
She collapses onto the ground, sobbing.
I never should have joined these movements. It was all meaningless from the beginning. I want to leave this place. Go to Spain or France. Anywhere but here. I want to go back to Magdalena.
The jailer releases her grip. Without a backward glare, Roberta leaves. Jailer steps back into the circular structure. He knows. Under the night sky, she sees the Coloma prison glowing like a brilliant bonflame. Oh, 3 days ago.
But how does literature make you feel?
As though I'm a kid looking through a kaleidoscope for the first time. Well, maybe that's not the best way to put it. Perhaps something a little more subtle.
The young writer drowns in the vortex of words as the blind woman walks away. She walks silently towards Komala prison, arriving at a dock hidden between the cliff and reefs. There, the prisoner who answers all questions awaits her arrival.
A ship sailing to an unfamiliar land. A parable of the past and future. An era that once existed and is yet to come. Is this the answer you've provided, Mr. Aleph?
No, Erd. You will have to find this answer yourself. No one can help you with this. No one.
I see. Thank you, Mr. Aleph. I will remember what you've told me.
Oh my god. So, the Platonic year. Whirl out new rights and wrong. whereas in the old instead. All men are dancers, and their thread goes to the barbarous lagor of a gong. Why be yet? 1919. Wow, I didn't expect to finish this before 4 hours. A secret meeting. In 1991, information moved at lightning speed thanks to technological advancement. Santos? What the fuck? Why are you here? Oh. I was asking why he's Santos here, but I did not know his dialogue is why are you here? The Admiral sent me to deliver the latest updates. Ah, I think Igor has misunderstood something. Just because we're both here doesn't mean the Apollos Brotherhood and Zeno are obligated to work together. Mr. Santos, you know the preachers said it before. Each and every one of us is their subject. Why did you just tell me what Igor really sent you here for? Zeno's intelligence officer intercepted a message from the Foundation Buenos Aires branch. How typical of Zeno to do something like that. The message stated that a fleet from the Foundation, including a battleship and a destroyer, has departed from the north and is heading south. So you're telling me those grey and white checkers are actually sending a fleet? The General wants you to speed up the transportation of personnel and supplies, and to weaken the manpower of the Foundation Buenos Aires branch as much as possible. Let me make this perfectly clear. I do not answer to him. But for the preacher though, and for them, I will fulfill my duty. Tell your Admiral that he doesn't need to worry about anything else. We'll prepare a proper welcome for the Foundation's feeble little fleet. Understood. Oh, I did not know. I completely forgot that the Brotherhood is still alive. There you go. That's all of it, right? Nothing left behind? Yep. That's everything. The answering machine, the butterfly, and the literature critic. I won't look at that. Ah, Chapter 10, Paradise Regained. That's the last one for Volume 2. Then, after next week, I think, I'm gonna finish Chapter 10 and review the entire volume yet again. So then we can continue on to Volume 3. We can't do that yet. So yeah. I'm gonna claim all of these. Ah, is this? Is that a fish dish? Again, I will read this after all of the days have been finished. I buy this tomorrow after I get a medicine pocket from the pool. Look at them. Wow. Anyway, that's it for me. Oh, there's someone in chat. I didn't even notice. Hey, hope you're having a wonderful stream. Well, I was on your stream last time. I followed you on Instagram and I still didn't get a follow back. If you can now, would be greatly appreciated. I don't think I would. But I don't remember you following me. I don't know. I don't get why I need to follow back, because it's not a private account, it's a public account. So I don't know what that means, but yeah, I don't think I remember anything. Well, I have a very short-term memory, but yeah, it's unfortunate. So I will recheck my schedule for next week, and one thing I would say is that there will be a video coming out next week. Hopefully I could finish some, but yeah, we'll see how it goes, because I don't know how it works. I edited those videos depending on the knowledge that I had at the time. So if it's bad, then that means it was the first knowledge stage of me doing that video. So. Okay, I gotta go and lie down. Yeah, I'm tired already. Okay, see you guys someday next week. Bye bye.